Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei got the multiversal powers of Devil May Cry, Shadow Monarch, Werewolf, Ghoul, Drake and God Slayer and others Movie 1. Before we start, please go support AndresFelipeSolanoDi for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. Chapter 1 Beginning. A long time ago, approximately 234 years ago, humanity discovered the existence of the 12 universes and the 12 dimensions, proving the multiverse theory. Understanding that there was something beyond their universe, their curiosity led them to break the barriers of the universes. However, they failed. Instead, they broke the barriers of their own dimensions, bringing with them a great catastrophe. Monsters from other dimensions appeared and a war for human survival began. The battle was fierce. The use of nuclear weapons was carried out and could only tide the situation. Seeing the desperate situation in which humanity found itself, the Union Project was created, the hope for humanity. The project sought to link people from this universe with their versions from other universes, with the goal of acquiring superhuman abilities or powers beyond their imagination. All this was thanks to Infinity, a super-intelligent and high-tech AI, which gave the information that in the other universes, some beings or people possess great powers, which strongly strengthened the project. Humans would temporarily acquire the powers of their versions from other universes to fight the monsters. In this way, humanity managed to turn the situation around. Peace returned temporarily, but since then humans use the powers of their versions from other universes to fight every time monsters appear through the dimensional cracks. Now in the future, approximately in the year 2456, schools were created to train people who will fight against monsters. The Hunters. We started at the beginning of the year with one particular student nicknamed the weakest and most useless. Hyodo Issei. New Life High School. In the classroom, a student was seen sleeping in class. Issei sleeping. Teacher, Issei. Issei ahhhhhhhh. Issei would wake up and fall off the chair, causing his classmates to laugh. Teacher, what did I tell you about falling asleep in class? Issei, I'm sorry, I spent all night playing video games. Teacher, gosh, look at you should be more responsible. Issei, yeah, I guess. At that moment, one of the male students spoke. It was Ryu Izumi. Ryu, Professor, why are you bothering? Remember Issei's situation. He can't use Link. At most he can only aspire to low-class jobs. Teacher, hey, stop. I don't want that kind of discriminatory comments here. Every being contributes, even the smallest ones. Ryu, TCH, I'm just telling the truth. A useless person who can't use Link has no future. Issei would get up from the ground, adjust his chair and sit back down. Teacher, let's continue the class. Issei, sigh, how boring today is. Professor, now getting back to the topic of the Link. Issei, ha, Link. This is how it was called, the Link, the ability to link your soul and being with your version of another universe to temporarily acquire powers. Bells sound. Teacher, okay guys, that's all for today, we'll continue in tomorrow's class. The teacher would leave and the students would prepare to leave. Issei, y'all now go to sleep. Ryu, hey. Issei, what do you want, Ryu? Ryu, how do you talk to me so casually? You know who I am and you haven't learned to correct that attitude of yours. Issei, if I kneeled for a millionaire boy then I would be a bootlicker. If you want that to happen you better ask your father to do it. You really can't, you lick his shoes, right? Ryu, I'll get you. His whole body began to glow, but at that moment someone came to interrupt. Hu Tao, stop right there, fights between students at school are prohibited. Ryu, Hu Tao, don't get involved, this bastard has no respect. Issei, if I had respect for a spoiled brat, people would think I'm trash. Ryu, what? Ryu was about to explode with anger, but Hu Tao looked at him seriously. He immediately knew that he had to calm down. He couldn't start a fight out of nowhere in a public place. Issei, okay, I'm leaving. Ryu, stop there, Hyodo Issei, I challenge you to a duel of honor. Issei, I refuse. Ryu, what? Don't you have any dignity? Issei, dignity does not let you live, cunning does. Ryu, bastard. Hu Tao, I finished my classes, can I accompany you out? Issei, if you like. The two would go out the door. Later they would see Rias and Isara, Issei's sister, talking. Rias, so the connection between me and my other version is greatly limited. Isara, it has happened to me too. I think it is due to something scientific. Aika is better at explaining those things. Hu Tao, hello girls. Issei, hello girls. Isara, brother Hu Tao, how have you been? Hu Tao, fine, but Issei is getting into more and more trouble. Rias, what was it this time you insulted someone's mother for bothering you? Issei, no, it was Ryu who started the fight because I couldn't use Link and well, I insulted him. Isara, how dare that bastard? I'll kill him. Issei, sister please no, remember that you have 2 faults for violence, the 3rd time you will be suspended. Isara, but... Issei, if you get suspended, who can protect me? Isara, it's true my brother is very intelligent. Hu Tao / Rias, more than smart I would say cunning and shameless. Isara, let's go home. Issei, sure Rias, Hu Tao, let's go. Rias, yes, I have nothing to do today, lately everything is boring. Hu Tao, how could it not be, if the duels you have fought have had opponents asking for mercy? The 4 of them would walk outside the high school campus. Issei, by the way Isara, where is Aika? Isara, he said he was going to help Basara and me, with the link between their versions of other universes. Issei, I see. Isara, your brother. Issei, Aika and you have a good future, keep going like this and you will become great people smiles. Hu Tao, surely your link rate will appear one day. Rias, yes, don't be discouraged. Issei, girls, I'm 18 years old, the link activation rate appears at age 12, a rate that reached this age can only mean one thing, I don't have versions in other universes because they don't exist, that would make me unique. Isara, brother. Issei, and to be unique in this universe is to be born the weakest. Rias, it doesn't mean you should give up. Issei laughs. Rias, my activation rate was at 17 years old, later than normal, that means you too. Rias's words would stop when she saw Issei's smiling face. Issei, thanks for encouraging me, but you know it's not like that. When you turn 18 and you can't make a link, it means the point of no return. No one who has turned 18 has been able to make a link. It's okay, I don't need that to get ahead. Anyway, I'll live my normal life. I'm fine with that. Rias / Hu Tao, Issei. Isara, brother. At that moment Issei's phone would ring. Ring ring ring. Issei answers, hello? Vale, Issei, where are you? We need you for a game. Issei, I'll go home and sleep. Honestly, I'm so sleepy that I don't think I can play today. Vale, well, I'll have to contact Iki to see if she's available. Issei, what about Tatsumi? Vale, he only knows how to use magic and I'm already a magician. Issei, true. Vale, hi Issei, I got a message, it has to do with you, it's from Professor Jack, he wants you to help him tomorrow morning on a project in the laboratory, he asked me to let you know. Issei, why me? Vale, because it gives you extra points to pass the subjects. Issei, true, okay, I'll go. I would hang up the phone calmly. Isara, is something wrong? Issei, extra work to pass subjects. Isara, Jack again? Issei, yes. Rias, why do you do those jobs? You're not doing badly in class? Issei, to avoid attending combat and physical education classes. Hu Tao, that explains it. Isara, be careful with Jack, his experiments sometimes go wrong. Issei, I know, in science classes he puts his theories into practice so much that we had to put on gas masks because of the noxious gas. Rias, it wasn't a good day for anyone. Issei, Yelan had a really bad time. Isara, her hair caught fire, no wonder. Hu Tao, and don't even mention what happened to Stella. Issei, yeah, Iki is still reassuring her every time she sees Professor Jack. Hu Tao, she lived through the worst part. Issei, well, let's go home. Tomorrow will be a long day for me. The next morning, Issei entered the laboratory and saw Professor Jack in front. Issei, everything will be fine. Issei, you won't burn, get electrocuted, or die horribly. Jack, Issei, how have you been? Issei, in one piece, and I hope to stay that way. Jack, yes, confusing a normal glass with one that could make you bounce was not the best, but at least the stuck glass did not hit vital parts. Issei, at least he remembers it. Jack, but don't worry, what I want you to help me confirm is something else. Follow me. Issei would follow him and see a holographic table, with the images of various universes. Issei, this is... Jack, do you remember roughly the big event from 6 years ago? Issei, how can I forget it? It was where the entire scientific community exploded, the 12 universes stopped being 12, an infinite number of universes began to appear. This event was called Renaissance. Jack, the Renaissance expanded the number of people who can use Link. Issei, benefit to all humanity when fighting monsters. Jack, that's right, I think the creation of more universes was not a natural thing. Issei, are you implying that he was provoked, teacher? Jack, yeah, look. At that moment the screen shows the 12 universes with energy lines. Issei, wow. Jack, I know it's true, these lines show that before the expansion or creation of more universes, there were trips between the original 12 universes. Issei, so my role is? Jack, confirm. This one would wear a helmet, shine, and have constantly moving data lines. Issei, a helmet? Jack, not just any helmet, this helmet is the latest and most advanced technology. It allows you to receive information about what your versions from other universes do or did. Issei, what? Excuse me, Professor Jack, I don't understand. Why are you asking me this? I don't have the ability to use Link, it would be a waste to use that on me. Jack, that's right, if only your situation with the Link was that simple. Issei, what are you talking about? Jack, the energy lines I showed you earlier have your energy trail. Issei, what? Jack, I think the situation of why you can't use Link is not so simple. Issei Hyodo wants to know the truth, because this may be the answer to use the Link. Issei. His gaze focused on the helmet, this being the key to all his questions. Why couldn't he use Link? He thought about it for a moment. Since the risks were uncertain, he didn't know if he could cause unimaginable disasters. However, a part of him wanted to know the truth behind his condition, so he took the helmet. Issei, I'll do it. Jack, alright, let's get started. Issei quickly sat down on a chair and immediately the helmet turned on. It was a relaxing sensation. He felt as if his soul was not in his body. He felt free as the wind. Jack, how do you feel? Issei, light. Jack, okay, it'll start soon. He could immediately feel that everything around him disappeared. Then the information arrived, but the pain with it was the same. Issei, how away it hurts, Buck. Jack, calm down. Issei, you have to stay calm. Issei, what is this multiverse crisis, multiverse war gems? His words made no sense. He said random things to anyone, but they weren't random. He said events that had happened. Immediately the information kept coming in. Devil May Cry. Shadow Monarch. Werewolf. Ghoul. Drake God Slayer. I am a driver Pokemon Fuse universe that merged with its dimensions. This world is now Tevat war. Used gems caused all this. A war was fought. Gems destroyed. Multiverse saved. They closed the gaps that connected the universes. Professor Jack immediately took off his helmet. He could see Issei's eyes bleeding. Jack, Issei, answer, you're fine. Issei, I saw everything, teacher, we should talk. Jack, okay, let me see the state of your body first. 3 hours later. Jack, so you're saying that your versions from other universes caused this? Issei, not because they wanted to. A version of me from another universe, from Universe 2. Issei, the return of the hero of the factions, lost everything he loved, using the power of the gems back in time. Jack, messing with time is one of the worst things I could do. Currently our universe classifies messing with time as one of the biggest taboos that exist. It's a miracle that Universe 2 still exists. Issei, Yes, when he did it, he changed the fate of my versions of other universes and led them to a series of different events changing their lives. Then the existence of the multiverse was revealed, causing Universe 5 Issei infamous second son and Universe 6 Issei Black to meet. Jack, Universe 5 and 6 are practically twins, however Universe 6's decisions were bad, inevitably leading to their destruction. Issei, yes, but another person from Universe 6 came to fight against my version of Universe 5, which defeated and then left, but fortunately my version of that universe survived. After recovering, he came back to fight and win. But that version of me had become evil, a kind of evils of the world, which were in the Pandora's box of Universe 9. Issei, God of War, entered it. Those evils contained a gem of those that my version of Universe 2 used to turn back time. That gem caused many problems, revived a fallen angel named Rainair, and went to Universe 2 to get all the gems. Apparently her resurrection brought her with an obsessive desire for my versions, and she wanted all my versions under her control. Jack, it all started with those gems. What were they? Issei, according to the information I have, they were from the metaverse, a universe where the universes and the beginning of the multiverse come from. The metaverse is a fixed line of history, where events are, will be and are, they cannot be changed. If someone were to change them, all the universes would disappear. In other words, no being in the multiverse can or should get there. Otherwise, everything would be erased. The difference between the metaverse and the multiverse is that our line is variable, but the metaverse is fixed. The other universes originate from there because of one question: what would happen? What would happen if I had taken the right path instead of the left? If I had not been born? If I had been rich? If I died that day, etc.? Everything is formed around a simple question. That question gives rise to the universes. The metaverse does not change, but instead all the variables that generate doubts, all the thoughts of those people, everything comes together and a universe is formed. The metaverse expels variables by having a fixed line of destiny, generating universes, but the multiverse accepts variables by not having a fixed line and a written destiny. The gems were a force that prevented anything from entering or leaving the metaverse. In other words, they limited the number of universes, eliminated the variables, and no universes were created, which is why now there are infinite universes being created, because now the metaverse is without any protection. Jack, holy crap. Issei, the metaverse gems were taken by Death, who used them to extinguish life in Universe 2, and my version of that universe used them to turn back time. That whole chain of events began in Universe 2. Originally the gems left a temporal barrier in the metaverse, which was broken when my version of Universe 2 went back in time and scattered them to random places. That includes other universes. Jack, this is a lot to process, but I get it. Universe 2 must have closer access to the metaverse than any of us if it can access the outside of it. And what happened in the end? Issei, they defeated Rainair, the portals and rifts between universes closed, and it was all over, I think. Jack, I see, then I think I know why you can't use Link. Issei, what, are you serious? Jack, yes, now that I have a better view of the situation I know. When your version of Universe 2 went back in time, you said that it changed the destiny of all your versions of other universes, so that includes you. Issei, me? Jack, that's right, look at this. He would hand her a tablet with an image of her body and a fixed percentage of 50%. Issei, is this my binding rate? Jack, the link occurs when compatibility reaches 100%. We can all do it, but why can't you? Because compatibility has always been fixed. The answer is simple: something bad is happening with your body. Issei, my body? Jack, I think that when your version of Universe 2 went back in time and changed the destiny of all your versions, yours was for the worse. The energy of your body remains fixed, because something keeps it that way, a plug that does not let you reach 100% compatibility to make the link. Issei, and how do I solve it? Jack, I have your energy traces here. It's a simple addition. To that 50% you have to add 50%, giving a total of 100%. With that you will make the link. Alarm. Issei, what's going on? Don't tell me something exploded in here again. Jack, no, I'm sure I locked everything up. At that a call is received. Jack, hi, yes, it's me. What? Are you sure? Okay, I understand. I will evacuate the students. Issei, what's happening? Jack, a portal opened in the park near the school. Issei, but my sisters went there in the morning with their friends. No wait, Aika and Isara are excellent fighters, plus their friends, definitely. Jack, the rift is S rank. With those words Issei's eyes lost their light. S rank rift. One of the worst disasters, brings with it the strongest monsters from the other dimensions. Issei, damn my sisters can't. Jack, Issei calm down, let's find a solution first. Issei, there will be no other solution, you know that they have their minutes counted, don't ask me to calm down. Jack couldn't go against Issei's words because he was right, his minutes were numbered, and S-rank horde was one of the worst calamities. Issei, there must be something I can do, something, Professor Jack. Jack, yes? Issei, can you help me make the link immediately? Jack, what are you saying? Issei, I've seen the power of my versions from other universes. They can definitely do it. Jack, that's not the point, doing something like that right away without preparation or proper equipment. We won't know what the consequences will be, you could die. I know what I said before sounded easy and it is with the right equipment, but we don't have that equipment here. Issei, my family is in danger, Professor. Please, I don't care if I die, I'd rather die trying than live knowing that I could have done something. Jack, Issei. Issei, please. Jack, damn it, lie down on one of the medical treatment tables. Issei, thanks. Jack, thank me when you get out alive. This is the first time I've done something like this with little technological equipment. In the park near the school. Isara, incinerate, they don't stop coming. Rias, this is bad, we can't continue like this. Immediately a large number of monsters were frozen. Aika, the link will end quickly. At this rate I don't think I have more than 2 minutes left. Hu Tao, we must find a way to escape. Aika, even so, these monsters will follow us, and if that happens, we will take them to innocent civilians. Yelan, divine water arrow. At that moment many monsters were destroyed. Aika, thanks Yelan, no. But before she could finish speaking, Yelan collapsed on the floor. Their bond was over. Yelan, I'm sorry I reached my time limit. Aika, damn. Aika was the next to be left without the possibility of using Link, then Isara and Rias were the last. Isara, Aika, I think I'm afraid of dying and leaving our brother alone. Aika, me too. Rias, you'll have to learn to be more patient, won't you? Hu Tao, and less talkative. Yelan, I honestly wanted to continue having fun a little more in high school, scamming boys and dice games. Issei helped me a lot with that. The monsters approached and jumped on them. Rias, it was a good life. The moment everyone closed their eyes, the monsters were torn apart. Then they opened them and were shocked to see who it was. Aika/Isara, brother. In the laboratory. Everything was destroyed, the machines, the chairs and tables, everything was in pieces. Jack, damn, I don't know how I did it, but it worked either way. Their versions from other universes are monsters. They fit into the category of gods in my opinion. I think I have helped give birth to the most powerful Link user in Universe 1. With Issei. Issei, you are monsters. Unfortunately I hunt monsters. Link made? Due to the amount of power of the subject, added to the fact that it is registered as your first Link, the time will be short for the user's safety. Link time approximately 10 minutes. You have linked up with your version of Universe 12 Issei/Solo Leveling DXD. Issei, the massacre begins well. Chapter 2, Link. Shock. Bang. Hundreds of monsters were being slaughtered and cut into pieces. Yelan, this is amazing. Isara, can our brother use Link? Aika, since when? Rias, his power is incredible, he is finishing off all the monsters in an instant. The monsters tried to resist by attacking him, but the explosive power of this was too much. Issei, this is great, now I'll try something, come up. At that moment the shadows rose, but it was immediately cancelled and Issei's body began to bleed from the mouth, nose, eyes and ears. Isara, brother. Issei, what the hell? Attention. The time limit has not passed. Committed state. Insufficient vacuum energy. Attention, imminent death due to clash of natural forces. Hu Tao Issei. Issei, Buck, because now the time of the link has not yet ended. There are still monsters. I must calm down, even if it hurts like hell. I think I can launch one last attack. Yes, I will finish with a single attack or I will die at this rate. Spits blood. Issei would gather the energy in his hand. The remaining monsters would approach. Yelan, Issei, stop, something is not right. Issei, monsters die. HAAA. A beam of energy was launched towards the monsters. The beam destroyed the monsters. But Issei's arm was torn off from his body by the amount of energy exerted on it. In the end, the girls were able to observe how Issei collapsed and fell to the ground without an arm. The scene was so brutal that you could see the bones, muscles, veins, and ligaments destroyed on his arm. Hu Tao / Yelan Rias, Issei. Ika / Isara, brother. Link finished. Issei, on the ground. Buck's shitty Link faints. The last thing he sees is the girls running towards him. 5 days later. In a hospital bed lay Issei, who had been unconscious for 5 whole days. Slowly Issei opened his eyes. His vision was blurry. He only saw lights. He didn't know where he was, or how he was. Until a voice he knew very well spoke to him. Jack, have you finally woken up, Sleeping Beauty? Issei, it's you, Teacher Jack. I can't see well. Jack, don't worry, it's temporary. Be thankful that you still have good hearing, otherwise we wouldn't be able to communicate. Issei, what happened? Jack, you ask because your hero performance went pathetically wrong? Issei, you know there's a better way to say it. Jack, but it doesn't change the result. Issei, seriously, Professor Jack, you are. Jack, but your performance wasn't that bad. You saved them. Your sisters, Rias, Hu Tao and Yelan, are safe. The rift closed. You won or tied in your case. Issei, Professor Jack, I don't understand. I felt the power flowing inside me. I felt like I could do anything and then. Jack, a reality check right in the balls? Issei, exactly. Jack, well, for your first link it wasn't so bad. I mean, you're not dead. Issei, do you know what happened? Jack, I have a theory. Issei, that means he knows. Jack, how much do you know about the link? Issei, gives us the powers of our versions from other universes. Jack, right, but it's not that simple, or it doesn't boil down to just that. Have you ever wondered how we can use the powers of our versions? Issei, I'm a student who spends most of my time playing video games. What do you think? Jack, if I imagine it, you see, Issei, each universe in the multiverse has something called laws. Issei, how, the laws of physics? Jack, correct. They are invisible laws that act as a regulator of said universe, either for all the people in the universe or for the people who enter that universe. Issei, explain it to me better, please. Jack, suppose one of your versions came to this universe. What do you think would happen? Issei, I don't know, something bad? Jack, those laws of our universe would come into action. Automatically, one of your alternate versions would lose most of their strength until they were at the power standard of our universe, practically balancing the person who entered our universe. Issei, because if in what I saw of my other versions when they traveled between universes, there was no such standard. Jack, correction, that was because the standard was the same for all of them, but for ours it is not. Issei, what? Jack, Issei, we were the first universe of the multiverse. We have the highest technology of all the universes. Outside of that, we have no magic, powers, or superhuman abilities. Without the energy of the void that allows the link, we are practically the weakest universe, just simple humans. Issei, how unfair. Jack, I know, but the reason I'm telling you this is that those laws caused this, all because your vacuum energy was insufficient. Issei, but the time limit? Jack, Issei, you know very well that the time limit is for protection, but the energy of the void truly defines the link. Vacuum energy, a unique energy that only the people of this universe of Universe 1 possess, as its name says, that energy is the vacuum. And the void can always be filled with something. Thanks to that energy, the link was created. Using that energy, we can use the powers of our versions of other universes. However, the amount of vacuum energy is defined by levels from 1 to 100, with 100 being the maximum level, being able to maintain an almost eternal form of power. Jack, the laws of each universe are strict, and whoever breaks them dies. Issei, and how exactly did I break them? Jack, you didn't break them, you actually caused an anomaly according to my theory. Issei, anomaly? Jack, do you remember the time imposed by the link? Issei, yes, it was 10 minutes. Jack, one of the laws of our universe is that once the time of the link is dictated, it cannot be ended until said time is up or the owner of the link decides to end it. But your versions of other universes, or at least the one you transformed into, was too strong. So much so that it consumed all your void energy quickly, and one of our laws is that without void energy you cannot transform. Issei, but I transformed when I had void energy, only then. Jack, then it ran out, right? Issei, then? Jack, yes, it was a clash of laws. One dictates that unless you want it ahead of time the link will not stop. Another dictates that without void energy you cannot transform. But you ran out of energy reserves. How could you continue using that power? However time was set, the clash of those laws was killing you. Issei, you speak as if the laws were a living being. Jack, everything in this universe must be kept in balance. It is the same for all universes. Those who break the balance pay the price. That is why there is light and darkness, good and evil, everything in and everything for balance. Issei, why do laws regulate us? Jack, the laws seek to protect their universe. By doing so they prevent its destruction. Issei, tell me one thing. Jack, what? Issei, I told you about my versions in the multiverse, because the laws of their universes did not act to stop that catastrophe. Jack, this is no longer theory, it's just speculation on my part, but I think it's because of those gems. Issei, are you implying that those gems scared those laws? Jack, no, I'm saying that the being that created them did. Issei, what? Jack, those gems you speak of, they could eliminate universes as if it were nothing. They kept the fixed number of universes at 12. They were the barrier of the metaverse. Something like that does not originate from nothing. It must come from someone. Issei, someone whose? Jack, to create something of that scale, whoever it is, I dare call him the true god of the multiverse. No, that's an understatement. He would be the writer of the multiverse, a being that could erase our existence, our history with just a wish, something that is above us. Just as two-dimensional beings cannot make contact with three-dimensional ones, we cannot even get an idea of the power he has over us. Issei, what are you saying? Issei's mind trembled. He felt that the conversation with Jack should not continue, as if it were dangerous to know more. Jack, he would be a presence beyond our universes, beyond everything. He could even be speaking through me and using me as he pleases, because I am just a story to him. Issei, okay Jack, I got the point, enough. Jack, he would be the omnipotent author. Issei, Jack, you're scaring me. Jack, yes, for him we are just stories, stories that he could erase whenever he wanted, stories that he writes. At that moment Issei saw something indescribable to his mind, and he immediately jumped in the hospital bed. Issei, ahhhhhh. Jack, Issei, what's wrong? Issei, what's this? What's wrong with me? Your damn speculation scared me. Jack, what are you talking about? Issei, hey. Jack, by the way, what do you want me to say? Issei, what are you talking about? Jack, you told me, tell me one thing and now I'm waiting for your question. Issei, are we talking about the laws? Jack, that's right, your question is about them. By the way, what's wrong? You look pale? Issei, no, calm down, I think I had a hallucination. Jack, okay. Issei, I think sometimes some questions shouldn't be asked. Jack, well, from my scientific point of view, I think a question should be asked. However, what you should worry about are the answers. Some of them are the ones you never want to hear. Issei, yes, I see Jack, I'll get some sleep. Jack, okay, I'll tell your sisters that you're awake. Issei, thank you. Jack would walk out the door, and Issei would be left thinking about what happened previously. Issei: I don't know what I saw or what happened to Jack, but I think I should ignore that for the sake of my mental state. Yes, it's better to forget it. Some questions really don't want the answers. 3 days later. In the laboratory. Jack and Issei were in the laboratory doing some tests. Issei: So you found the solution so that I don't lose another arm when using the link? Jack: Yes, apparently the solution to the problem of laws is to level up, as this will increase the vacuum energy in your body. Issei: My current level is 5, raising the void energy is done through combat, which I can't do, because to fight I need to use the link, and my versions are so damn strong, that I would kill myself by using it. Jack: So I'm going to create a device to measure the amounts of vacuum energy, that way you'll know when to stop. Issei: I'll have to use link, right? Jack: Correct. Issei: Okay. Jack: By the way, one of your versions from another universe or some of them have regenerative capabilities. Issei: I think so. Why? Jack: About your arm, I told your sisters that your arm is temporary. Issei: True, but you couldn't use the high technology of our universe to regenerate my arm. As far as I know, science can solve this problem. Jack: Maybe. But why spend money when you can get it for free? Issei: You really are. I don't even control the link. I could link to any of my versions. Jack: Perfect, that's what we'll look for. We don't know if all your versions use the same amount of vacuum energy, so we'll measure your energy with each link, so I can better configure the clock I'll create. Issei: It sounds like you're going to test multiple phones with a single charger. Jack: Good metaphor, and I would say perfect for this situation. Now let's start. Issei: Well, since I don't want to be left without an arm. Jack: That's the spirit. Issei: I hope everything goes well, please. Chapter 3: Analysis. In a laboratory room, Issei was sweating. Apparently he had performed some kind of experiment. Issei: Buck, this is exhausting. Jack: In these days we have collected very satisfactory data. Issei: You say that, but you will continue to experiment. Jack: Of course, everything in life is trial and error. Issei: Yes, only that doesn't apply when life is at risk. Jack: Issei: Details, you focus only on the details. Issei: Why would that be? Jack: Well, with this final data I may finally have what it takes to help you with your link problem. Issei: Finally some good news. Jack: Okay, follow me. Issei: Okay. Issei would follow Jack. Upon reaching his destination, he was in front of a machine, which apparently was creating a kind of clock. Jack: This is the result of all the data gathered. Issei: A clock. Jack: Yes. Issei: Can you explain it better, Mr. Scientist, because right now I doubt your entire career? Jack: This watch will be your best friend from now on. Issei: Either you explain yourself better or I'll call the mental hospital. Jack: Remember I told you I would create a device to measure the amounts of vacuum energy, and that way you'll know when to stop. Issei: I see, is this watch the device? Jack: That's right, I call it the multiversal clock. Issei: Wow, how long did it take you to think of that name? Jack: The 5 minutes we were coming here. Issei: It was actually a trick question. Jack: Well, I'll explain the functions it will have. First, it will measure the amounts of vacuum energy you possess. That way you can keep yourself safe and not suffer from the clash of laws like last time. Issei: How reliable is this? Jack: The watch will be connected to you. It will be like a limb of your body, so 100% reliable. Issei: You mean it will measure my energy in real time without delays? Jack: Yes, in fact, as a second option, if you enter low vacuum energy numbers, by that I mean 0, the watch will automatically deactivate your link. Issei: Shock, that's possible. I thought that deactivating a link is only possible for the one who activated the link. Jack: In this case, since the watch will be part of you, you can technically do it. Issei: That's amazing. Jack: As a third option, it will automatically upgrade. Void energy can only be raised through combat. It will keep track of your battles, and if your void energy goes up, then the time you can maintain a link will be upgraded. Issei: I find it very versatile. Jack, the fourth option is that it will tell you in advance based on your void energy, the time you can maintain a link. Issei, this is because not all my links with my other versions last the same amount of time, right? Jack, right. So far we've been practicing so you can control which version you want to use the link with. It was a bit random at first, but thanks to that we were able to get to know your other version's capabilities better and improve your link control to what it is now. Issei, true, now I have reached the point where I can decide who to link up with. Jack, about that, the fifth option of the watch is that it will record all the new links you make. In the future, if you link with a new version of yourself from another universe, its information will be recorded in the watch. That way you will be able to link again more easily, and the information of that version will reach me to study it. Issei, I understand. By the way, currently the links registered in the watch are all the versions of me that I showed in the tests, right? Jack, yes, that's correct. Issei, did you order them numerically based on the universes? Jack, yes, starting with us who are the one universe. Issei, why do that? I can't transform into myself. Jack, to maintain order and symmetry, it would look odd if the list of records started from universe 2. Issei, your way of thinking confuses me sometimes. Jack, anyway, here's the list of the log that will be on the watch and the level of vacuum energy that each version of you uses. Jack would pass a paper board to Issei, and he would look at it in detail. Universes in which the link has been used. Universe 1 High School DXDGXIUXU. Universe 2 Issei The Return of the Hero of the DXD Factions. Universe 3 Issei Sonic the Hedgehog DXD. Universe 4 Issei / Pokemon Humanity World DXD. Universe 5 Issei Infamous Second Son DXD. Universe 6 Issei Black. Universe 7 Issei the Werewolf DXD. Universe 8 Issei the Ghoul DXD. Universe 9 Issei God of War DXD. Universe 10 Issei Prototype DXD. Universe 11 Genshin Impact DXD. Universe 12 Issei / Solo Leveling DXD. Universe 13 The Gamers DXD. Universe 14 Issei the Master Swordsman DXD. Vacuum Energy Expenditure. Universe 1 Nothing. Universe 2 Insane Spending. Universe 3 Big Spending. Universe 4 Insane Spending. Universe 5 Medium High Spending. Issei, yes? Xiao, in this school, one cannot only maintain oneself by having high grades, right? You must demonstrate your skill in combat, since at the end of this academy future hunters will emerge. In your case, that part was postponed due to your situation with the link, but in Vala's case, what is his situation? Issei, Vala is what they call a wasted talent. Xiao, wasted talent? Issei, you know what the compatibility rate is, right? Xiao, it is what allows us to reach the link. Issei, so you know what the synchronization rate is? Xiao, it is what allows us a stronger connection with our versions. Reaching a certain percentage of synchronization, we can use the powers of our other versions more easily. It is as if we were actually that version. Issei, correct, because Valley has the highest synchronization rate in the academy. Xiao, what, but he has never made a link. Issei, I know, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Even now that I can use the link, my synchronization rate with my versions varies by 70% to 75%, making me the second with the highest synchronization rate. However, Vala can't even use the link, but her synchronization rate is 80%, and it's a fixed rate. It doesn't even vary like mine. Xiao, that's it. Issei, now you understand why they call it wasted talent. Xiao, that's why the school lets him stay here still. Issei, the higher-ups consider him someone interesting, plus he maintains a high GPA, which is why he has been able to stay in this school until now because of that. But don't be confused, they have tried to kick him out of the school many times for a long time. After all, a high synchronization rate without a link is nothing to them. But he has Lavinia's backing and his family is important, so they don't dare to do anything for now. Xiao, but now that he can awaken his talent by solving his link problem like you did, he won't do anything? Issei, that's right, Vala will continue living a relaxed life and we will have him like that until graduation. Xiao, I'm afraid so. Issei, okay, let's go. Xiao, by the way, Vala was your first friend here, right? Issei, yes, why? Xiao, it's funny, the weakest and useless and the wasted talent, it's like it was fate that you two met. Issei, ha, I guess that's true. Xiao, well, let's go to the video game room, Vala is way ahead of us. Issei, of course we can't leave him alone, let's have some fun. Elsewhere. A crack began to form in an alley, and from it a kind of humanoid monster came out. Demon, so this is the dimension of those pesky humans. Chapter 4, Invasion. In a video game room, Issei, Xiao and Vala would be having fun. Issei, Xiao, shoot him. Xiao, I have no ammo. Vala, what are you guys doing? Cover me. Issei, I'm busy. Xiao, I already have ammunition. Issei, late, they killed me. Vala, me too. Xiao, well, I think I can help you revive them, don't wait. A sniper killed me, they killed us. Issei, sigh, well, at least we made a lot of progress. Vala, yes. Issei, well, I think we should go. Vala, the day is not over yet, how about we go to my house? Xiao, shall we play more? Vala, yes. Xiao, what's the point of going out to play video games if you have video games at home? Vala, we get some fresh air and we pay money to play. Issei, I beat you with that logic. Xiao sighs, let's go. When we arrived at Vala's house, it was completely empty. Issei, shouldn't Lavinia be at your house at this time? Valley, she is attending to important matters and my mother is accompanying her. Issei, I see, things about your family, right? Vala, yes, every time they come back they come with a long face and they are both angry. Xiao, well, Lavinia's family is not simple. Issei, I think the best way to describe him is, he comes from a rich family which doesn't like Vala. Vala, true, but she still doesn't seem to care about their opinion. Xiao, I'm surprised you haven't asked her to marry you yet. Valley, I actually did it, Issei is a witness. Issei, that's true. Xiao, and what happened? Issei, well, it would have been a yes, but Lavinia's father was with his family that day. The next thing that happened was a huge fight. The authorities intervened and well, Vala is forbidden to declare his love. Xiao, because I'm not surprised. Issei, yes, in fact the only one who can declare his love is Lavinia. Xiao, so he's waiting for a marriage proposal from her. Issei, that or until the family approves him as a husband worthy of her. Xiao, the first one is easier. Issei, I think so too, but Vala promised Lavinia that his family will consider him a worthy husband and it's something in progress. Vala, yes. Issei, a lot of process. Vala, okay, let's go to my room. I have the game ready. Xiao, what are we going to play? Vala, you'll see, I bought this game on the black market. Xiao, the black market, which is not a place to buy and sell illegal items, plus they sometimes sell live monsters from other dimensions to experiment with. Vala, that's right. Issei, how much money did you spend on that game? Valley, my entire allowance. Xiao, does Lavinia know? Vala, who do you think helped me? Issei, yes, I assumed so. Upon arriving at Vala's room, they arranged their things and in the center of a table, Vala placed a kind of holographic board. Valley, it's called a holographic link battle simulator. Wait a second and I'll go get the chairs. Xiao, okay. Issei, well, Xiao. Xiao, yes? Issei, that thing is not a game. Xiao, no, it's not. Issei, do you think Lavinia knew from the beginning and still let Vala buy it? Xiao, I'm afraid so. Issei, and you think Vala realized what it was, but he still uses it as a game. Xiao, it's the safest. Issei, but despite that, we're going to play with this thing and we won't tell anyone about this. Xiao, of course. Issei, sounds good to me. Vala, guys, I'm back with the chairs. Issei, okay. They all sat down in front of the table, and as they sat down the holographic board lit up. Vala, well, you may know what this is. Issei, well, nothing serious, just an object for private use that big governments use. Xiao, exactly. Vala, could you be more descriptive, you know? Issei, okay, the holographic link battle simulator is used to measure the powers or power level of your other versions of the multiverse, in which they simulate a battlefield, and with all the data collected, you put your versions to fight by measuring their powers, skills, and abilities. That way you know which is the strongest of your versions. Added to the pros and cons of each of them, it should be noted that this device does not work if you are a single link user, that is, a single link. Valid, exactly. Xiao, yes, but its use is controlled by the governments of the world. Its global distribution will only begin this year, and the units are so limited that you can use your fingers and toes to count them. Issei, added to that, the simulators that are available in the government are monopolized by the big families, so you would have to wait the 2 millionth turn so that you could even use it. Vala, but they have a good friend who won't keep them waiting. Issei, if you know that for this they would put us in prison for the rest of our lives, right? Vala, but I know they won't say anything. Xiao, you are so well, what are we going to do with this? Vala, well, that's where Issei comes in. Issei, me? Vala, yes, currently you will tell us which are your strongest versions and each of us will choose one of those versions to fight one-on-one. It should be noted that Issei will provide us with information about those versions to choose wisely. Xiao, in this kind of games, the last one to choose would not be at a disadvantage. Vala, yes, but surely Issei will know how to handle it. Issei, wait, I'm the last one to choose? Vala, of course it's my game, I choose first, and since they are your versions and you are the one who knows the most about them, you should choose last. Issei, well, there's no other choice. Xiao, do you agree with this? Issei, why not? Difficult things are more fun. Xiao, you really play along with Vala. Vali, okay, let's get started. After Issei explained to each of them the abilities of their versions, the game would begin. Vali, okay, I choose your version from Universe 12. Xiao, I'll stick with your version from Universe 4. Issei, I will choose my version of Universe 2. Vala, so that we are even, is it okay if the computer chooses another version of you? Issei, well, it's no problem for me. Xiao, same for me. Vala, okay. The computer would select the version of Universe 14. Vali, then I'll start fighting with Issei. Issei, okay. The simulation would begin, and to Vala's great surprise, the loser was the Vali, but how? Xiao, now that's a surprise. Vali, this doesn't make sense. The version I chose has enormous powers, an immortal army, and so many other abilities. How did I lose? Issei, my version of Universe 12 may be powerful, but that version keeps improving. As of today, its growth is the fastest of all the other versions. The problem is that it is not fully polished. Xiao, so that's it. Issei, if we think about it, it is true that my version of Universe 12 has an army of shadows, but that army will remain standing only if its monarch remains standing. Added to the fact that my version of Universe 2 is extremely strong, he trained in the future for a long time. So much so that he stopped counting the years and then went back in time with his maximum power. He had reached a stage of perfection even in the areas that he was bad, like magic. Vale, you mean I lost in terms of power, because your version of Universe 12 keeps improving, while the version of Universe 2 has already reached the top. Issei, it's not just that in his battles he has only used 25% of his power. Until now he has not met a rival who is capable of making him serious, and the times he got serious were because his enemies had the gems, objects that could do anything. Now without them he can hardly find enemies that make him get serious and in turn improve. Xiao, true, the stronger you are, the stronger your enemies must be, in order to improve much more. Issei, the reason my version of Universe 2 will win is because it is stuck at a peak of power that my other versions have not yet reached. Xiao, and until something or someone appears that can make it move forward, it will remain stagnant. Issei, my version of Universe 12 will possibly one day reach the power of my version of Universe 2 or even surpass it. But when that day comes he will be stuck like my version of Universe 2. Vala, in this matter of power, is there something like a goal? Issei, surely there is, but when your whole world comes to peace and strength is no longer necessary, everyone gives up before reaching the goal. Vala, do you think any of your versions made it to the finish line? Issei, it's difficult but it can be done, although it will take a long time for that. Vala, well, I guess it's your turn. Xiao, it's your turn with the computer. Xiao, well, let's see how it goes. The fight would start quickly, but after a few minutes it would end in a draw. Valley, that was unexpected. Issei, in Universe 4 they gain power by fusing with strange creatures. My version of that universe also seems to have lived a long time and the creatures it can fuse with are powerful. On the other hand, I don't have much information about my version of Universe 14, so it's normal that it's difficult to evaluate. Xiao, it's hard to believe that, when the link allows us to see memories and memories of our versions. Issei, I know, but with him everything is just blank. Xiao, it's weird, you should be careful when using the link with it, some links are dangerous. Issei, I hope it doesn't come to that, on the other hand, it's worth it. Vala, yes? Issei, why did you buy this game, seriously? Valley, as always, I can't fool you, it's for Lavinia. I think this holographic simulator will be very useful for training, and so she'll be ready when facing battles. Xiao, so he really cares about his girlfriend. Issei, ha, Vala may be Vala, but he still reciprocates the love and faith she has for him. Vala, please don't say embarrassing things. While they were talking, Zhao's phone rang. Xiao, hello, yes, it's me. What, this is impossible. Issei, something's wrong, Xiao? Vala, what's going on? Xiao, Issei, calm down with what I'm going to tell you. Issei, what's wrong? Xiao, a monster from another dimension attacked the city. This was a very intelligent humanoid type. A team of students and professional hunters was deployed to attack it, but they were unable to defeat it. In the midst of the confusion caused by the battle, it took your sisters hostage. Issei, shocked that. Xiao, right now, the students from our school and a group of hunters are gathering to rescue them and kill the monster. But... Issei, but what? Xiao, but the monster opened a crack and more monsters came out of that crack. Valley, that's it, but the only monsters that can open rifts are the highest level ones. Xiao, I know, apparently this monster is one of those, and right now the chaos is concentrated in the center of the city. The priority now is to kill that monster and close the rift. Issei, and my sisters? Xiao, since they were taken hostage, the government will say that it was their incompetence that led to their downfall. The matter is too serious to sacrifice dozens of men for the rescue of 2 people. This information I got from my teacher who is involved in the matter. It is 100% official. Valley, then they will just let them die. Xiao, yes, in fact, in the worst case they will kill them with the monster, or they will look for their usefulness so that the monster can be killed. Issei's eyes widened, his hands shook with rage and a vein on his forehead could be seen. He was very angry. Issei, how can the government do that? Vale, they are afraid a monster of that type has not appeared for a long time and the strongest hunters in the country are currently traveling or busy taking care of other cracks. Issei, Xiao, Vale, you are my friends and you know me. You know how I am, so you know what I'm going to do. Xiao, yes. Vale, of course. Issei, Vale, could you get me a helicopter? I have to make a stop where Jack is. Vale smiles, leave it to me. Issei, and Xiao. Xiao smiles, don't say more, I'll go get more people to buy you time. After all, your sisters are also my friends. Issei, thank you guys, now let's get going. Chapter 5, Connection. On top of a burning building, were Issei's sisters injured. Aika, cough cough, how are you? Isara. Isara, spits blood, I think I have broken ribs. Aika, where the hell did a monster like that come from? Isara, I don't know, he'll be back soon, after all, we're his hostages. Aika, my void energy is almost exhausted. Isara, I still have a little left. Aika, keep it, it could help us escape. Isara, we don't even have that chance. Aika, let's hope so. At that moment a figure appears, the monster that had captured them returned. Demon, isn't the sight beautiful? The flames are consuming everything. Isara, typical of a monster they are only born to destroy. Demon, haha, but what a closed mind you have. First of all, I have a name, and it's Demon. Aika, what do you want? Demon, finish you all. Isara, I knew that a monster is still that no matter how much intelligence he has. Demon, you think so? Do you know why I do it? Do you know where I come from? Isara, from another dimension or not? Demon, that's right, but do you know what my world is like? Where I come from is a place that prioritizes the strongest. The strongest eat the weakest. It's a crazy place, full of madness. We devour that madness to survive. Aika, your excuse is that you kill, because you were raised that way in your world. Demon, no, it's more complicated than that, but it's not something you need to know. Isara, why did you kidnap us? Demon, to learn more about this dimension, you humans have resisted a lot for being weak beings. When I appeared in front of you and you attacked me, I could see why you resisted. Isara, we won't teach you anything. Demon, of course yes, because humans must feel pain. If so, I just have to find the amount of pain necessary, so that they release all the information. Aika, shit, what are we doing? This guy is going to kill us. We have to escape. Demon, if you want, as a courtesy on my part, I can let you try to escape, but I remind you that there are many monsters below this building, so think twice before doing something stupid. I don't think you'll last long with them in your current state. Isara, Aika, I will give you a chance to escape. Aika, wait, Isara, don't do something stupid. Isara, but... Aika, if you die, do you think I'll be able to see our brother in the face again? Isara, damn. Demon, okay, we can start. But at that moment a powerful blow was launched towards Demon, however he reacted in time and stopped the blow. Shao, this monster is overwhelmingly strong, although I expected it. Demon, I knew more humans might come, but I didn't expect them to be foolish enough to come alone. Shao, you're wrong, I didn't come here alone. Yelan, water arrow dies. At that instant Yelan's arrow hit Demon's back, raising a large cloud of steam. Shao took the opportunity to get away from the opponent, but when the cloud of steam dispersed, it was revealed that Demon was intact. Yelan, this must be a joke. Shao, this is not a good sign. Aika, it's too strong. Isara, yes. Demon, I can't believe they came to die in such an easy way. Shock. Burst. But Demon's words were interrupted by lightning and gunshots towards him. Aquino, I can feel his energy, he's not dead yet. Rias, apparently it is very resistant. Demon, sigh, their pathetic effort to fight is interesting, in fact it encouraged them to keep trying, after all if they don't put up any resistance it gets boring. Hu Tao, you said it. At that moment Hu Tao appeared in front of him and attacked him with his spear, but he easily blocked it. Demon, exactly how many more are coming? Shao, what can I say, Isara and Aika have many friends. At that moment Kiba, Basara, Iki, Mio, Stella and many more appeared flying in the sky. Demon, interesting, come on. Demon's twisted and monstrous smile formed, his energy was released, the sky lit up in a dark red temporarily. Immediately everyone attacked at the same time, no one held back, they were purely murderous attacks. Basara, die. Demon, your sword is dangerous, but if the enemy is faster than you, he won't give you a chance to use it. Bang. Shock. Basara spits blood shit. Mine, how dare you? Demon, intense power, but it takes too long to cast. Bang. Mine, ahhhhhhhh. Basara, mine. Basara caught her, before she fell to the ground with the monsters. Mine, I'm sorry. Basara, don't worry, that monster is very strong. Shock. 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 Kiba, how is this guy deflecting our sword blows with his hands? Stella, even though she is imbued with fire, it doesn't seem to hurt her. Iki, if we can hurt him, then it will be a benefit for all of us, after all he is the only one who has no support. Shock. Asia, Aika, Isara, don't move please, I'll heal your wounds quickly. Aika, how did you find out about our situation? Xiao, thanks to the contacts I have. Isara, does my brother know? Xiao, he was with me when I heard the news. He was the one who asked me to help them. Bang. 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 Demon, one of you has good sword skills, but his attacks are not fast enough. Another has strong attacks but is slow, and finally one is fast, but his attacks lack power. Kiba, Stella and Ikki were sent flying into the buildings. Akino, I've never seen a monster like this before. Rias, he has a high level of reasoning. Despite his appearance, he does not appear to be wild. He is quick to think and make decisions. Hu Tao, what do we do? At this rate, even with Asia's support, we won't be able to confront him. Akino, we are still students at the academy. Although we have participated in real fights, this one is different. Xiao, I couldn't agree with you more. Hu Tao, do you have a plan, Xiao? Xiao, no, the enemy is stronger than us, and they also have something fundamental that we lack. Akino, and that's it? Xiao, experience. I can say that he is used to fighting. He has surely fought a lot of battles. Rias, how do we overcome the experience gap? Xiao, there is only one option, power. Akino, what? Xiao, normally a fighter's experience is only countered by another fighter with equal experience, but the exception to this is a purely overwhelming power, which crushes all of that. Hu Tao, this must be a joke. Xiao, believe me, I'm not making jokes right now. After those words, Xiao jumped towards Demon to stab him, but Demon grabbed him by the arm and kicked him towards the sky. Demon, you're not lacking in senses, but you don't know how to control your own body. Xiao Buck. Hu Tao, our energies won't last long at this rate. Akino, to top it off, there are still monsters down there. Hu Tao, we need overwhelming power, but something like that through the link is a matter of luck. Kiba, not only that. Rias, Yudo, are you okay? Kiba, yes, Stella and Ikki must still be stunned. Hu Tao, Kiba, what did you mean by what you said before? Kiba, even if someone could link with a version from another universe with overwhelming power, how much energy do you think it would consume? Remember what Jack recently discovered with Issei. Hu Tao, true, even if the time is set, it is useless if the energy runs out before and you die from a clash of laws. Kiba, in that case, an extremely short time must be set. Akino, even if the time is short, it should be enough to do some damage, but currently none of my versions have such ability. Rias, I think I have a version like that. At that they turned to look at Rias in astonishment. However, Akino looked at her seriously, because she knew what she was referring to. Akino, no, that's dangerous. Rias, there is no other option, Akino. Hu Tao, I'm lost here. Why is it bad that Rias uses that version and saves our lives? Akino, are you going to tell them or me? Rias, recently I've been having problems with my link. The connection between my versions and me has been limited. Kiba, limiting? Rias, yes, I spoke to Isara about it one day about that. The experts told me that it was a sign that I could soon link up with a new version of myself. The problem is that when I tried it recently Akino, Rias lost consciousness. She did not remember anything of what happened. She had blood that was not hers and her body had internal injuries. Hu Tao, that's it. Rias, fortunately, Akino found me on the street and took me to the hospital. Then I was recovering. They warned me not to try to link up with the new version of me for the moment. Akino, that version of Rias may be very powerful and therefore has more control of her body than Rias herself. Kiba, the risk is tremendous. Hu Tao, but honestly we are out of options. Rias, Akino, I have to do it. Akino, ha, fine, but just be careful. We came to save lives, not to lose them. Rias, thanks guys, I'll need some time. Hu Tao, don't worry, we'll take care of that. Immediately everyone launched themselves against Demon. Even Becerra and Mio re-entered the fight, then Stella and Ikki would join them. Shock. Bang. Shock. Bang. Shock. Burst. Demon, I see you are tired. Kiba, trembling, damn, my body is numb. Icky, I understand you hitting him with the sword is like hitting a metal beam with a wooden stick. Demon, well, it seems it's time to end this. I can't keep playing here. Demon raised his arm. He was going to launch his final attack to end this battle. However, he would stop when he felt that something was not right. Vibrate. Shaking. The vibration of the air could be felt due to the large amount of energy that was manifested. Immediately an earthquake was generated. Everyone remained still except for Demon, who looked up at the sky. Kiba, what is this? Demon, the air suddenly changed. Akino, you laugh. Demon, so there was a monster hiding among you. Link made. Link time approximately 2 minutes. You have linked up with your version of Universe 12 Rias Gremory, Monarch of Demons, pure destruction. All of her friends admired the way she looked. They had no words to describe her, but without a doubt, saying beautiful or powerful is an understatement. Kiba, she has control, right? Akino, I honestly don't know, but I think Rias would have told us something. At that moment, Rias disappeared from the sky and appeared in front of Demon. No one could see her move. Demon, who are you? Rias, kneel down. After saying those words, Demon's body was subdued. Demon, but what? Rias, kneel more. Demon, don't buck with me. Demon tried to resist, but the pressure exerted by her was very powerful. He reached a point where he was not kneeling, but lying face down on the ground. Rias, more. The pressure was such that Demon's body broke through the roof of the building, passing through it. The monsters surrounded him to help him. Demon, that girl surpasses me in power, however I still have the numbers in my favor. I will use my army to defeat her. Escheries. At that moment Demon felt terror. When he saw her appear in front of him, she did not make any movement, unlike the monsters, which pounced on her. Demon, I want to see how you plan to face all these monsters. Rias, die. With those delicate words, the monsters exploded in front of Demon, creating a rain of blood. The blood bounced off of Rias. Not a single drop of blood stained her. The blood of those monsters did not deserve to even be stepped on by her. Her friends watched her from the roof of the building in amazement. Kiba, you are her best friend Akino, so tell me how you see the situation. Akino, well, if there's one thing I'm sure of, it's that Rias isn't our Rias. Isara, but she doesn't seem to be our enemy. That means we win. Kiba, no. Isara, what? Kiba, it's been 2 minutes. At that point, Rias's body began to glow. Demon, smiles, ha 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 ha, luck smiles on me. I've seen that before. Those 2 girls up there went through the same thing, before returning to normal when I defeated them. I guess those states are temporary. How unlucky for you, your chance to kill me is gone. Rias, smiles, you arrived. After saying those words, he would collapse and fall to the ground. Demon, I can't leave something as dangerous as you alive. I'm going to end this quickly. Besides, what did those last words mean? Issei, she was referring to me. At that moment Demon looked back and saw Issei, who had not realized that he was behind him. Demon, who are you? Issei, it doesn't matter, I'm going to slice you into pieces. Link made. Link time approximately 2 minutes. You have linked to your version of Universe 14 Issei the Master Swordsman DXD. Chapter 6 Feelings. All of Issei's friends and his sisters visualized his arrival. For his part, Demon looked at Issei like any other person. He didn't feel anything for him. Not even a shred of power. I thought he was just a talker. Demon, you must be another one who comes to die. Well, let's finish this, but let's do it quickly. I'll give you about 5 minutes of my time. Issei, 40 seconds. Demon, what? Issei, I'll end this fight in 40 seconds. Issei's gaze towards Demon was full of indifference. Of course, Demon was irritated by that gaze. Demon, how dare a miserable human being look down on me? Issei, are you going to keep talking or are you going to come? Immediately Demon jumped towards Issei, cutting him with his hands. Demon, it's over. Issei, what a pity it was a residual image. Demon, what? Issei, sorry I finished in less time. At that moment Demon was dismembered. from arms to legs. It was so fast that he couldn't defend himself or attack, he was just finished. Demon, how is this possible? Issei quickly returned to normal. His link time was over. Issei, this watch that Jack made, it's very useful. Demon, that human also returned to normal. If I regenerate I can kill him easily. Hey, but what's going on? Demon tried to regenerate, but strangely he couldn't. Issei, but the link with that version of me was different. It was a very strange feeling, as if I wasn't myself. Demon, that human, what did he do to me? A cut shouldn't prevent me from regenerating, unless it's not a normal cut, damn. Issei, okay. Issei would slowly approach Demon, who for the first time felt fear, because his death was right in front of him. Demon, what are you going to do? Get away. Issei, sigh heavens, how did you end up like this? But contrary to Demon's thoughts, Issei passed by and went for Rias, whom he carried in his arms. Demon, but what? Issei, I'll take you to a safe place, guys. If my sisters are safe, bring them so we can leave this place. Demon, wait. Issei, yes? Demon, are you not going to kill me? Issei, the priority now is to get everyone safe. Demon, don't buck with me. How dare a miserable human look down on me? Issei, well, it's easy when you're lying on the ground. Demon, I don't understand. What are you planning? Issei, well, nothing, I just came for my sisters. Demon, what? Issei, you see, the government has surrounded the area, along with other people, to carry out the subjugation operation. In other words, they are coming to close the rift and kill you. Demon, what are you saying? Issei, unfortunately my friends and I are here illegally and without the government knowing, so to avoid problems we will leave as soon as possible. Demon, and you're just going to leave me here like that? Issei, why would I worry? You are weak, defenseless. The people under the government's orders are already approaching, and since you are an intelligent being, you will be a very valuable subject. Demon, what do you mean I'll be a valuable subject? Issei, well, they might catch you alive, then they could dissect or torture you to get information out of you. Finally you would die, but not in peace. Demon, wait. Issei, sorry, I have to go. Good luck, you're going to need it. Demon, hey, wait, don't go, help me. Issei, it's funny that a monster asks for help, regardless of how many lives he has taken. After those words, Issei would leave, and his friends, seeing him leave, did too. At that moment the government hunters began to arrive, who found Demon's body. Demon, please don't leave me like this. His last cry was released before the hunters captured him. 2 days later. Isara and Aika were safe. Fortunately, they said a mysterious person appeared and gave them the opportunity to escape. None of us were discovered, but the government is looking for the unknown person who took care of the monster called Demon. However, there are no clues at the moment, which makes me happy. The last thing I want is to attract attention. For now I was at Vala's house helping his girlfriend Lavinia with the inventory. Vala collected the favor for the helicopter, which took me to Jack for the watch. Lavinia, thanks for the help, Issei. Issei, it's nothing. I owe Vala a favor, and I'm his friend. These things are normal for me. Lavinia, Va-kun has great friends. Issei, yes, although things for Vala are not easy sometimes. Lavinia, that's true, but as long as I'm okay, I'm happy with that. Issei, I see. Lavinia, yes. Issei, you know, Lavinia, sometimes I have a hard time understanding you. Lavinia, I'm not complex at all. You've been my friend for a long time, you should know how I think. Issei, I know how you think sometimes, but other times you act weird. Lavinia, but I always show the reason why I acted that way. Issei, sometimes it's not like that. Lavinia, really? Issei, yes. Lavinia, like which ones? Issei, for example, the thing about Vala. Lavinia, that. At that moment the air began to feel colder than usual. Issei, your declaration, or rather your confession of love to Vala was strange. Lavinia, what's the point of mentioning a topic from the past? Issei, I'm just curious why. Lavinia, what's so strange about a girl in love declaring her love? Issei, I'm not saying I don't believe in love at first sight, but even so your statement was the most abnormal I've ever seen. Slowly you could see how the floor was slowly freezing. Lavinia, I heard you can now use enlace, is that true? Issei, yes, a few things happened but now I can use it. Lavinia, okay. Issei, you know Lavinia, there's something I've wanted to ask for a long time. Lavinia, oh, why did you wait so long to tell me? Issei, because it's one of those questions that you can't help but make a person angry. Lavinia, so what is that question? Issei, Lavinia Rennie, do you really love Vala? After that question the whole room froze. Issei didn't even move when he saw that. On the other hand, Lavinia was angry. She was a genius of the link and could manifest more power than any average person. That's why she had to have a lot of self-control, because if not she would destroy everything around her. Lavinia, what led you to that question? Issei, when you confessed long ago, we all thought you were messing with Vala. Even Vala thought so, but we were all wrong in the end. Lavinia, and that's not good? Issei, no, if you don't know the reasons why someone declared their love for Vala out of nowhere. Lavinia, do you think I'm playing with him? Issei, some spies, they are talented and are able to carry out their actions to the end. Lavinia, so you don't rule out that I play with him. Vala must be a great friend to you. Issei, he's my best friend, no, he's like a brother to me. Lavinia, that's why you want to know my true intentions. Issei, Vala may seem like he's a profiteer, which isn't entirely wrong. Honestly, if it were his decision, he'd be born rich and never work, but when it comes to you, he tries hard, he really does. He's come to truly love you, so it would seem unforgivable to me if you were playing with him all this time. Lavinia, I see what would happen if it were true. Issei, conflict will be inevitable, I'm afraid. Lavinia, although that would mean losing Vala as a friend. Issei, I'd rather he live hating me than rot in pain. Lavinia, you are a good friend. Issei, many do not have that fortune. Issei, then? Lavinia, do you really want the answer? Issei, yes, not only for Vala but for me and everyone else. I don't want to think that even your friendship is a farce. Lavinia, if so, follow me and I will answer your question. Issei, okay. The room returned to normal and Lavinia would approach the door. Issei would go behind her. At last they went out into the garden. Lavinia stopped and looked at the sky in a nostalgic manner. Lavinia, it was a quiet day like this, when I saw everything. Issei, what do you mean you saw everything? Lavinia, you've heard that talent is a curse. Well, sometimes that's true. Since I was a child I was born with a talent superior to the rest. My family had me on an altar, although for me it was a coffin that suffocated me as time went by. They always told me things like I must be perfect, powerful, an example for others, etc. To tell the truth, I hated my life a lot despite having so much talent. Why wasn't I free? Issei, did you hate your family? Lavinia, I can't say that, but I don't love them either. The only thing they made me feel was indifference. Issei, I understand. Lavinia, then one day the topic of seeking commitment came up. To tell the truth, I was reluctant to do that. Issei, because your family would look for high-class suitors, right? Lavinia, you understand well. Yes, I tried to delay it, but I knew that you can't delay something that is inevitable for long. Issei, what did you do? Lavinia, since the creation of the link, there have been incidents, so rules have been established for its use, and some of these rules are considered the greatest taboos of the link. Issei, shocked. Lavinia, maybe you. Lavinia, I broke the third rule of linking. Look at the personal memories of one of my versions. Issei, but what have you done? Lavinia, you asked me if I play with Vala. No, I don't. I really love him. Looking at personal memories, one of the oldest rules that exists since the creation of the link. When we use the link, we can see the memories of our versions. According to studies, doing it frequently helps strengthen the link with that version. But a ban was established on seeing memories referring to personal or sentimental status. The reason is simple: chaos. The first event was recorded in the year 2234. A young man from the United States watched the memories of one of his versions to find out who the sentimental partner of that version was. It all started as a joke, then when he saw all the moments they lived together, he couldn't help but be captivated or fall in love with that woman. It was literally a means to find your predestined partner easily, but when he was gone he went to find that woman. She was married, the man was devastated, the woman asked him why and he told her what he saw with the link. As a consequence she used it, also seeing everything that happened and falling in love with the man. This led to a series of events in a chain. The woman divorced and left her family. The news of this event went viral, so more people used the link to find out who her partner was. More cases like the first one began to be recorded. The situation continued to escalate. For some countries the last straw was when some people presented a polygamous relationship in a monogamous society. Some of our versions were not human and of course could present a type of polygamous relationship, but for the modern world that is something that is difficult to see well. In other cases where love was not reciprocated, there were murders and other horrible things, both for men and women. Seeing the chaos that this action generated through the link, it was forbidden from then on to look into the personal memories of our versions. That day one of the greatest taboos of the link was born. The prohibition of the heart. It is said that only the most powerful people in the world have the right to break the taboo rules of marriage. Issei, so from the beginning you didn't play with Valley, you really loved him. Lavinia, I saw a lot of personal memories from my versions and in all of them it's always him and me. You can say that Vala is useless, but I know what he would do for me. I know his potential and the kind of person he is. I couldn't help but love him when I saw all those memories. Issei, but you know what you did. Lavinia, yes, I know the consequences of my actions, but I have to say that breaking that rule was the best thing I did in my life. It truly filled my life with happiness. Issei, if this becomes known, appropriate punishment will be applied. You know what it consists of. Lavinia, all my rights as a human being are annulled, therefore my family would have total control over me and could easily end my relationship with Vala. They can use me however they want. If I were to resist, I would become a criminal, who would be wanted by the government. Dead or alive, that is the punishment for breaking one of the taboo rules of the link. I would become a slave without freedom. Issei, God, if you know you didn't even plan a countermeasure. Lavinia, my goal was to become one of the strongest people in the world. If I achieve it, even if I have broken the rule, I will not be punished. Issei, you know very well that the strongest people in the world are hunters who have taken their name to every corner of the planet. You are strong, but you are lacking a lot. Lavinia, I have no choice now and I don't plan on involving Vala in this. Issei, I know, God, this is very serious. Lavinia, I answered your question, now you answer mine. Are you going to say something? Issei would stare at her, and then let out a long sigh. Issei, for now I won't tell anyone anything. In fact, we never had this conversation. However, if one day this situation gets out of hand, I'm not going to stand still and watch. Lavinia, I know. Issei, well, I think I'll go. Lavinia, Issei. Issei, yes. Lavinia, you've never thought about doing it too, seeing who you'll love. Issei, you were lucky that Vala was single, but if he hadn't been, would your heart have ached? Lavinia, yes. Issei, then you have my answer. Why see something where you can get hurt? Lavinia, you prefer not to see anything. Issei, yes. Lavinia, I understand. Issei, well, I'm leaving. I have to go see Rias at the hospital to ask how she's doing. I think Aquino and the others should already be there. See you later. Issei would calmly leave the place. On the other hand, Lavinia would smile. Lavinia, some predestined couples will always be together in all universes. Chapter 7, Broadening Horizons. General Hospital. In the hospital, Rias was lying on a bed, while Issei was feeding her pieces of apple. Rias, delicious. Issei, why am I the one who is feeding you? Rias, because you arrived late, everyone left already. Issei, true. Rias, also feel pleased that you feed a sister. Issei quickly shoved a piece of apple into her mouth, preventing her from finishing speaking. Issei, if you keep praising yourself, I'm leaving. Rias, it was a joke, please don't go without you. No one will be able to change the TV channels for me. Issei, how the doctor already told you when you will be able to move? Rias, no. Issei, how long until the results come in? Rias, don't despair, you're not the one who's been lying here for days. Issei, good point, your family hasn't said anything? Rias, they are traveling abroad, together with Akino's parents. Issei, that's lucky. Rias, it's a shame the others weren't so lucky. Issei, yes, I heard that Yelan was scolded very badly and Mino is forbidden to go out in the afternoon, added to the fact that Becerra will not be able to see her for a week. Rias, it was not to be expected that they left their homes without warning. Issei, true, they worried their parents because of my request. Rias, we saved Isara and Aika's lives honestly, a punishment doesn't matter. Issei, I owe you a lot for this help, my sisters are everything to me. Rias, I understand. Issei, by the way, Jack said he would come with a guest to see you. Rias, who? Issei, I honestly don't know, but just in case I'm here, seriously, that guy could set fire to the hospital for his research. Rias, don't remind me, the last time I was in chemistry with him, I was exposed to a deadly virus. Issei, yes, I wanted to test the immunity to diseases with the link. The funny thing is that he didn't take me into account, so I ran away. Rias, after that, the school went into quarantine. Issei, on the bright side, it was an early vacation. Rias, honestly speaking, few saw the positive side when they were exposed to the virus. Issei, yes, but there were no deaths, which is great. Now that I think about it, Jack must have friends in high positions so they don't kick him out. Rias, by the way, were you doing something before coming? Issei, I was helping Lavinia with something. Rias, did something happen? Issei, not at all, we were just talking about topics related to the link. Rias, it's true that you are very interested in those topics lately. By the way, haven't you leveled up? Issei, yes, but I still can't increase the energy of the void enough, so that my stronger links last longer. Rias, I can understand how you feel. I managed to link up with a new version of myself and I can't even last long in that form. In fact, I don't feel like I'm myself anymore. Issei, what do you mean? Rias, I lose consciousness briefly, I don't know why. Issei, now that you mention it, when I transformed into the Universe 14 version of myself, it was the same as you. Rias, really? Issei, yes, it was like briefly closing my eyes and finding yourself in a new scene in seconds. To tell the truth, I don't remember very well how I defeated that guy. Rias, but how is it possible that we lose consciousness in our relationships? Azazel/Jack, possession. At that moment, Issei and Rias screamed, scared at the same time. Then Issei would see who it was. Rias moved his head to see who they were. Issei, they almost scared us to death. Rias, heavens. Jack, I'm sorry we got excited listening to your conversation. Azazel, that's right. Issei, is this the guest? Jack, a friend of mine named Azazel. He will be at the academy working in the lab with me, although he also works in the government. Issei, they have been friends for a long time? Jack, that's right, we were labeled as special kids in the research field. Issei, I think that's not right. Azazel, well, it seems that you two are victims of possession. Rias, it's true that they shouted that when they entered. What does it mean? Jack, possession is a rare event that happens in the link, when you manifest the consciousness of another version of yourself, and it takes your place. Issei, they say that our versions possess our bodies? Azazel, yes and no, it's more like a copy of your version's personality, overwritten on you. Jack, like a video game, you save the game by overwriting the data on top of an existing one, only this one is temporary. Rias, what causes possession? Azazel, well, actually there are several circumstances that can cause it, so a common pattern has not been found at the moment. Issei, will this keep happening? Azazel, possibly in the future, but it is not very frequent, and it does not affect them at all, but it is beneficial. Issei, in what way? Jack, knowledge and experience. The next time you link up with that version, you will feel more comfortable in your body, and you will be able to use your powers more easily. It is almost like a second rate of synchronization. Issei, well, if it's not negative, I won't worry. Rias, by the way, what is the reason for your visit? Jack, true, I almost forgot. Azazel, Rias Gremory, you received an invitation to join the elite forces of the government. Issei/Rias, what? Jack, that's right. As you know, when you graduate from the academy, you can decide if you go to a university for hunters or join a force right away. Azazel, since there are rules about early recruitment, I came especially for your answer. It is up to me to deliver your answer to the government. Issei, can I ask something? Azazel, yes. Issei, your behavior towards her will change depending on her response? Azazel, no, as a law enforcement officer on these issues I am neutral. Whether you reject or not, it will not influence my behavior in any way. In fact, I would recommend you reject. Issei, can you say something like that being you're part of the government? Azazel, of course, but in the end it's just my opinion. Jack, even I am on Azazel's side. Those who are in the academy are provided with resources to improve as hunters, and the resources at the university are on another level. The resources of the academy are nothing compared to the resources of the university. Issei, the government doesn't provide resources? Jack, yes, but I say it's better to go to a place where they can fully develop. Azazel, the academies serve to teach all the basics of the link. They give you resources based on your performance. And what do you think they get out of you? Issei, well. Rias, no idea. Jack, protection. The academy gets protection from you as students. The more you develop, the better it will be for the academy. Azazel, that's right. In fact, the practical exercises of cracks are actually for the academy to gain more fame and prestige. Jack, he also gets money at graduations. Issei, money? Jack, every university in the country sends a representative to recruit talented students. The government is no exception. Azazel, nowadays the government has lost a lot of influence. To tell the truth, people trust universities more. Issei, so they are recruiting talented people early to turn the situation around. Jack, that's right, but for me the government's resources are less than those of the universities. Azazel, personally, the government has become a very corrupt place. Jack, I recommend that you don't express yourself like that here. Your position in the government is delicate right now. Issei, now I understand why he is against the government, and says that we should not join since we are part of it. Surely something is going on within it. Well, it is normal. They were going to let my sisters die in order to kill the monster. It is clear that there is corruption within it. Rias, there's something I want to know. Jack, yes? Rias, when I graduate, what will I get from my university? I suppose the case is similar to that of the academy, but it cannot be completely the same. Azazel, that's right. The only difference is that when you finish your stay at the university, you can choose to join a special force of the government, another public entity, or you can create a special force. Issei, we can create a special force? Azazel, that's right, but all the resources must be obtained by yourselves. You no longer have any support and are on your own. Jack, that's why I say Rias should go to college to solidify her strength, instead of joining the government. Issei, putting it like that, it's actually more sensible. Rias, then I will reject the government's invitation. If I can become stronger by going to a university, then I will go. Azazel smiles, then I will give them your answer. However, as you should already know, the situation in the government is not normal, so I would recommend you to be careful. Lately they are not taking rejections well, and some do not hesitate to use force. Azazel would say that last thing with a serious face, warning Issei and Rias that things in the government are not going well at all. After that Azazel would leave. Issei, by the way, Jack, nobody in the government knows about. Jack, don't worry, the demon thing is still a mystery. There aren't even any suspicions. Issei, what a joy. Jack, I honestly didn't expect you to use the watch for the first time in a real battle, but I'm glad to see that nothing went wrong. Issei, yeah, it was good. Rias, what happened to Demon? Jack, about that I have something to show you. At that point Jack would take out a phone and start shooting a video. In that video you could see Demon's body stuck to a wall with giant nails. His legs and arms were still slowly regenerating. At that point a girl stood in front of him. Issei, who is she? Jack, he is one of the government soldiers, his name is Saber. The video continued and Demon started talking. Demon, you don't know what you humans are up against. Saber, we've fought monsters like you before and will continue to do so. Demon, haha. No, what's so funny? Demon, you say they have fought monsters. I don't believe it in my eyes, they have only sent them the leftovers. No, that. Demon, do you think you're the only dimension we attack? Saber, what are you talking about? Demon, the 12 dimensions have names. Helheim. The realm of demonic creatures and my home. Elves. The kingdom of elves, ice elves, light elves, and dark elves. Machine. The kingdom of gears and mechanical creatures. Spirit. The realm of spiritual and animal beings. Celestia. The realm of sacred creatures. Drangliic. The kingdom of dragons. Magic. The realm of magic manipulators. Sword. The kingdom of swords, composed of beings that manipulate the aura. Nirvana. The kingdom of the gods. Bloodborne. The kingdom of dreams. Mythic. The realm of mythical beasts. Mystra. The kingdom of you humans. No, this is Demon. Except for your dimension, the rest of us have been at war since the dawn of time. When we realized your presence, we sent scouts to measure your power level. That was a long time ago. However, according to the scouts' words, they are classified as the weakest dimension by far, therefore we never sent our main force. We only sent low-level creatures. Know that. Demon, now you understand the main forces of the other dimensions were never sent here, because they are still in conflict, and in fact maybe that was a mistake. We gave them time to grow, but make no mistake, my dimension sent me to reevaluate them. It was a mistake to underestimate them. Saber, wait, you're not a high-level soldier? Demon, haha, I certainly have great strength, but I am nothing more than an insignificant worm, compared to the truly powerful of my world. If I am here to reevaluate them, surely the other dimensions also sent someone. Saber, shocked. Demon, but now that they've caught me and surely in multiple parts of their world they've killed those who came to reevaluate them, what do you think will happen? No, perhaps. Demon, correct, the dimensions will no longer see them as simple garbage, now they will begin to take them more seriously. No, what are they going to do? Demon, don't worry, they're probably not worthy of sending their main force yet, but if I were you I'd be worried because they won't send low-level monsters to do the job anymore, they'll surely take them a little more seriously now. I wonder how long they can last. The video would end and Rias and Issei were shocked by what they saw. They didn't know what to say. Jack, the information will be made public tomorrow morning. For now this information is secret, and those who are allowed to see this information for the moment were called to a meeting today. What humanity has lived until now is only the beginning. Chapter 8, Ranking. Issei, this can't be true. Jack, unfortunately it is. Issei, all this time we assumed that they were just brainless monsters, that there were no intelligent life forms on the other side of the cracks, but the reality was different. Jack, I'm afraid so. Rias, how would the world take news like that? Jack, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, the whole world is going to be alarmed, there's possibly massive chaos. Issei, knowing this I feel helpless and unable to do anything. Jack, they are still students, they must try harder, take advantage of the resources of the academy, and then win a place in the best universities. Issei, choose between saving lives immediately or getting stronger. Jack, you are sure that the resources are worth it? Jack, yes, you will see that you will be able to find many resources that will help you increase your void energy and strengthen your physical bodies. Issei, wait, there are other ways to obtain the energy of the void, why didn't you say it before? Jack, because resources are not easy to obtain, and even if you can use the link, you have not yet formally participated in the academy ranking, so you are practically losing the opportunity to obtain resources. Issei, I didn't want to enter yet without controlling my links well, but seeing this situation I guess I can't wait. Jack, don't forget guys, the ranking will decide who gets the most resources, as well as guarantee a place in future universities, and when this information is revealed tomorrow, the competition in the rankings of all the academies in the world will be more brutal than ever. Everyone will do everything possible to win. Always keep that in mind. Issei/Rias, yes. The day would pass, and as stated before by Jack, the information that Demon gave was revealed to the public around the world in a press conference. This caused great chaos and commotion. Thousands of questions were asked to the governments of the world on how they were going to deal with this. And of course, things in the academies began to change enormously. I was currently registering for the academy ranking. I had been in the academy for a while, but I had never entered, because I did not have the link, so I delayed my entry. Yasaka, so the rumor that you can use link is true. Issei, I didn't expect to see you here, Yasaka. Yasaka, I usually take it easy, but lately everyone seems to be in a hurry more than ever. Issei, I understand perfectly. How is your sister Kunu? Yasaka, she's fine. Issei, they're both almost the same. I remember that once I almost confused them. Yasaka, yes, a near miss that some people think is not very funny, but anyway, you understand how the ranking works. Issei, well, I just registered, and since I've never fought, I don't have the slightest idea of the rules or what I should do. Yasaka, Roswise shouldn't guide newbies into these things. Issei, your schedule is very busy lately. In that you would see a girl running towards Issei and Yasaka. This was Roswise. Roswise, here I am. Issei, Roswise, stop there, you're going to crash. Roswise, what? Shock. The two collided. Roswise was on top of Issei, pressing his face with her breasts, and Yasaka looked at the situation as if it were an everyday thing. Yasaka sighed, because most of the girls I know end up running into you like that. Issei, I don't know, maybe he is very hated or very loved, or maybe both. Roswise, what are you doing, pervert? Issei, you're the one who came running and ran into me. Roswise, it's because a new boy has registered in the ranking, so I was in a hurry. Yasaka, calm down both of you. Roswise, Issei is the new kid. Roswise, hey, just kidding, right? Yasaka, no, Issei can already use the link. Roswise would start to look at Issei's body calmly. Roswise, looks the same as always. Issei, sometimes I wonder if you're intentionally bothering me. Roswise, well, anyway, I'll start explaining you the rules of the ranking in the academy. Smiles. First, to climb the rankings you will naturally have to fight. You can select anyone to fight, but you will naturally climb faster if you challenge someone who has a higher ranking level than you. The exception to this is the top 10 of the ranking. Issei, why is the top 10 the exception? Roswise, being the strongest in the academy, they cannot be challenged by anyone. They can challenge each other, or they can challenge you. You can also challenge them once you reach the top 11. Issei, I understand. Second, it is forbidden to kill your companions in battles. The exception to this rule are duels to the death. Roswise, but for now, we haven't seen that kind of duels in the academy for a long time. Yasaka, but the way things are going, I'm afraid they'll see each other soon. Issei, let's hope not. Roswise, are there rules in those duels? Roswise, no, you can use any means possible to win. It also greatly increases your ranking position. Issei, I see. Yasaka, Issei, you won't think about it. Issei, no, I don't gain anything from taking human lives. Roswise, well, I'll continue. Third, once the battle is agreed upon, they will immediately be transported to a combat zone. Only the one who is challenged has the advantage of choosing the terrain, the same for duels to the death. Issei, ready by the way, to receive the best resources. What position should I occupy? Roswise, top 100, and the more you advance, the more resources you will acquire, plus the quality will be better. Issei, then it is decided. Apart from challenging, there is a way to fight next. Roswise, there are random duels, but they carry great risks. Issei, why? Yasaka, because since they are random, you can play against anyone in the academy. Plus the area is also random. Normally the top 100 use this function, but every time you lose you go down a lot in the ranking. Issei, I see, well, I will use that function. Issei would go prepare for battle, leaving Rosweiss and Yasaka alone. Yasaka, even after your explanation, he didn't seem nervous or worried about using the random option. Rosweiss, there could be several reasons he went crazy or he's a fool. Yasaka, or he is confident in his strength. Rosweiss, I met Issei a long time ago and I know he's not stupid. Yasaka, I agree with that. I think I'll come back often to see their fights. Rosweiss, is it out of curiosity or something else? Yasaka, oh, why do you say that? Rosweiss, didn't he seem like a cute guy to you? I remember he helped you study a lot last year. Yasaka, what about you? Didn't Issei help you last year so your schedule wouldn't be so tight? Rosweiss, what are you implying? Yasaka, same here, what are you implying? Rosweiss, let's say we both think the same about each other, what would happen? Yasaka, you know you're craving a battle. Rosweiss, I will not refuse. The sparks between the two were seen. The boys looked scared at Rosweiss and Yasaka. On the other hand, Issei had entered the duels at random. Issei, city terrain, interesting. Xiao, who would have thought I would find you here, Issei? Issei, Xiao, are you also planning to rise in the rankings? Xiao, after the news, everyone is going crazy trying to get stronger, resources are being monopolized. Issei, true, well then forgive me, I will have to lower your position in the ranking. Xiao, we'll see about that. At that moment Xiao would use the link and Issei would do the same. Link made? You have linked up with your version of Universe 8 Issei the Ghoul DXD. Issei, are you ready? Xiao, of course. Shock. 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 Issei, I had never thought that Xiao's speed was so high, even so he won't be able to dodge the following attacks. He would use his Kagun to attack Xiao from multiple directions. Xiao, shit. Shock. Bang. Bang. Shock. Issei had successfully hit and pierced Zhao's leg. Issei, damn, I don't control the strength of this version well. Xiao, ahhhhhhhh. Issei, this is bad, I must stop or else I will kill Xiao. Xiao, I'm sorry, Xiao, don't stop. Issei, what? Xiao, the battle is not over. Issei looked into Zhao's determined eyes and took his stance. He made a gesture characteristic of this version of him. Issei, okay, but be careful, I don't control the strength of this version of me. Xiao stood up again and pointed his spear at Issei. At that point, all the elemental energy was gathering at the tip of that spear. The battle was watched by many people from the academy. They immediately identified Issei, then the word began to spread. The rumor that Issei could use Link was no longer a rumor, it was reality. Stella, Ikki, Xiao is clearly injured, he is at a disadvantage, why does he insist on continuing the battle? Ikki, he probably wants to check the distance between him and Issei. Stella, distance? Ikki, you saw him in action in the battle with that monster, he literally stopped it on his own as if it were nothing. Previously Issei was considered the weakest in the academy. Now that he can fight he surely wants to see how far his strength goes. Stella, however, we have never seen this version of Issei. Ikki, yes, his vibe is different from the previous version that he showed us. This one is possibly weaker. However, that it is weaker than the previous version does not really matter. What matters is how strong this version is. Are we even at the power level of the Issei versions? Back to the fight, Xiao was preparing to make his next move, on the other hand Issei too. Issei, with your leg wound you won't be able to launch another attack. Xiao, that doesn't matter, I just need to land this blow. Xiao quickly began to move between the buildings and Issei followed him. Issei, the energy is concentrated at the tip of the spear. If he wanted to hit me he should have come head on. But if he didn't it's because he has a plan. At that point, Xiao entered one of the buildings. Issei, upon noticing this, stopped his speed and began to walk inside. Xiao, you followed me into the darkness. Issei, was your plan to dull my senses? Xiao, I don't know, can't you see in the dark? Issei, on the contrary, I can see, hear and feel the smell of human flesh. Xiao, interesting. Issei, let's end this, Xiao. Your attack will not be able to hit me without you receiving damage in return, and if that happens, you will be out of combat. Xiao, do you think you've won? Issei, yes. Xiao, that's very arrogant of you. However, I see that you can justify it. That's why I will opt for another strategy. Issei, do you think your attack will be able to hit me without risks? Xiao, on the contrary, my idea was never to impact my attack on you. Issei, what? Xiao, did you notice where we are? Issei, maybe you. At that point, Issei would realize the situation, but it would be too late. Xiao destroyed the base of the building, exploding the energy concentrated at the tip of his spear, causing a collapse. Immediately, Xiao left the building. On the other hand, Issei began to be buried alive. In the end, the building collapsed with Issei inside. Xiao, I knew I couldn't win head-on, so I opted for another solution: bury you alive and let the rubble break your bones. The battle seemed won, but then Issei's Kagun appeared from beneath the ground, trapping Xiao. Issei, that was smart. Xiao, how did you get rid of something like that? Issei, this version of me has a regenerative ability, so my broken bones healed quickly. Xiao, but even with the regeneration, how did you move or think about your next move that you don't feel pain? Issei, of course I'm sorry, but this version has suffered worse pain. Xiao, haha, someday I'll catch up with one of your versions. Issei, I'll be waiting for that day. With those words, Issei would knock Xiao unconscious, winning the fight. Immediately, everyone in the academy shouted in surprise, except for friends who already knew his strength. So Issei finished his bond, then he left the place to go look for another battle. At that, the academy ranking was moving and Issei was being elevated. Valley, it seems that Issei will cause a lot of commotion. Lavinia, yes, I think many will now want to challenge him. Chapter 9, Lessons to be Learned. After a week, Issei's nickname as the weakest had been removed. He was now known as Unbeaten, the undefeated one. Since the ranking began, he had not lost a single fight. Many went to see his matches. Within the Issei Academy, he had become a superstar. Valley, it must feel good to be popular. Issei, not really. Valley, are you saying this because the boys are jealous? Issei, yes, they have attacked me in the fights with more intensity. Valley, what did you expect? Someone like you, who was at the bottom, is now rising very quickly, and with it your popularity. Clearly you have become an excellent prey to raise the name of anyone in the school. Issei, so you think defeating me will make you shine? Valley, basically. Issei, then they are going to hit a very big wall. At that point, a person came to approach them. Yuma, hello Issei. Valley. Valley, hello Yuma. Issei, how about Yuma, how have you been? Yuma, well, a little boring lately, although I saw that things were getting interesting for you. Issei, have you seen my fights? Yuma, of course, it's amazing how strong you are. I think you'll soon become one of the best. Issei, well, that's my goal, although to be honest, I haven't found a challenge lately, and that's even though I'm using the random battle function. Valley, I honestly think you won't find a challenge in combat until you reach the top of the rankings. Issei, yes, I think so too. Yuma, well, I'll leave you. I have to help Asia in science class. Issei, Professor Jack, will he be there? Yuma, no, this time a new teacher will come. Issei, that's great, no more disasters in the laboratory. Valley, and what is the name of this new teacher? Yuma, Azazel. Issei, oh my god. Yuma, what's wrong, Issei? Issei, nothing, good luck. Yuma, thanks. Yuma would leave quietly, leaving Issei and Valley alone. Valley, Yuma Amano is one of the most outstanding students in our academy. I honestly don't know why her position in the rankings isn't higher. Issei, some say that his case may be the same as Asia's. Valley, you mean more like supports than attackers? Issei, correct. Valley, but there is a ranking for those who are defensive or supports. In that case, she should appear in that ranking, but instead she is in the fighter ranking. Issei, then I guess she's not much of a fighter with the link. Valley, that certainly can be the case. Issei, Also, even though she is good in different areas, she is not perfect. Do you still remember the day we met her? Val. Of course we arrived late. It was raining and we both came across her up in a tree for fear of a dog. Issei, that scene was very funny. Val. I totally agree. Issei, by the way, our teacher in the Link class, they are going to change him, right? Val. Yes, I found out his name in fact. From your previous reaction I knew that he is not a normal teacher. Issei, because of my previous reaction? Val. Yes, about Azazel. Issei, oh my god, don't tell me that. Val. Jack couldn't come today, so I guess he temporarily replaced him in science. Issei, I honestly don't want to go to class today. Val. There are two of us. Time would pass quietly, and it would be time for classes. Upon entering, Issei would see Asia scorched, while he sat in his chair. On the other hand, Azazel would enter to introduce himself. Azazel. Hello everyone, I am Azazel and I will be your new teacher in the Link class. First of all, I would also like to clarify that the science laboratory is closed due to an accidental fire that occurred. Issei, that explains a lot. Issei would glance at Asia and immediately understand why she is like that. Azazel, so to start, I know that all of you already have the basic knowledge of the Link, as well as its functionalities, however there are features that you may not know. Kaneko, like which ones? Azazel, for example, normally when manifesting the Link we obtain the powers of said version, right? So what would happen if that power is given by an object or thing outside the bodies of our versions? After his words the whole class fell silent or began to murmur. No one knew what to say or answer. It was the first time they heard that question. However, Kiba raised his hand and spoke. Kiba, I think we couldn't get any power by linking with that version. After all, it's not a power that's born in the bodies of our versions, but it's given externally, so by using the link we couldn't manifest it. Azazel, a valid conjecture and a very logical point of view, however your answer is wrong. Kiba, what? Azazel, the truth is that if we could obtain that power. Kiba, but how? Azazel, Miss Asia, you can use the link for a moment. Asia, here in class? Azazel, don't worry, there won't be any problems with that. You have my permission to use it, not to mention that you might be the most suitable person than anyone present, since as I understand it, your links are more of a support. Asia, okay. In that, Asia would obey Azazel's orders and immediately began to use the link. However, his companions noticed something. His body had not changed, not even the energy was manifested. Vala, was the Asian link like this? Issei, I don't know honestly, the times I saw her use it, she practically had it activated already. Azazel, listen carefully, in this world by using link, we can access the powers of our versions. Powers like magic or other energies, coming from the bodies of our versions, manifest quickly, so I ask the same thing again. What would happen if that power is given by an object or thing outside the bodies of our versions? Kiba, maybe? Before Kiba could answer, Asia manifested her sacred gear and a healing light enveloped the room. Azazel, the answer is simple, the manifestation will happen very slowly, that is why some link users have to use it in advance before going to the battlefield. Kiba, but my link is like Asia's and the manifestation of mine is fast. Azazel, so you believe that the power of your version came from within and was not given externally by an object or thing, because of the speed of the manifestation of your powers? Kiba, yes. Azazel, it is logical to think that, but there are also factors why it occurs quickly or slowly in some people. Issei, like which ones? Azazel, first is the compatibility you have with that power given externally, second is the adaptability of your body around that external power, and finally the speed and the concentration of energy. The latter is key since some people are faster than others gathering energy from the void. Issei, is the last one from birth? Azazel, I'm afraid so. However, all of the above, especially the last thing I said, can be solved by consuming resources that correct these factors, manifesting the object or thing that grants those powers to our version quickly. Valley, then Kiba is talented if he can do it quickly without consuming resources. Azazel, can it be seen like this, or is there another way to see it? Kaneko, which one? Azazel, the object or thing that gives powers to that version of him, and therefore to him as well, is not very strong. After his words, all the students were surprised. Azazel, since the link exists, the objects that give powers to our versions are many. They range from magical, demonic, sacred swords. The most striking are the sacred gear. But what do all these objects have in common? Issei, quality. Azazel, explain your answer. Issei, well, I guess a legendary sacred sword, which is given to me by the link with a version of myself, must be stronger than someone who has any sacred sword. Azazel, correct. There is a quality standard for the items in our versions that grant us powers, so the manifestation time of a common item cannot be equal to or greater than that of a legendary item. Kaneko, so the quality of Asia's sacred gear when linking is superior to Kiba's. Azazel, well, let's keep in mind that Asia is a support, and nowadays there are not many people who can use support-type links, so they are usually superior to attack ones. Issei would glance at Kiba and he would notice that he had become discouraged. Issei, those words must have been hard to hear. Azazel, but don't be discouraged. In the future you can make links with stronger versions than the current ones, so I'm sure you won't get stuck. Issei, now that I think about it, in the battle memories of my versions, most of them had a sacred gear, but until now I have not manifested it. Azazel, does anyone have another question? Issei, me? Azazel, go ahead Issei. Issei, what happens if when I link up with a version of me, it has its own power and in turn has an external object that gives it power, like Asia's sacred gear? Azazel, normally those cases are rare, but those that have been seen naturally show great power, having two forms of power. However, it comes with the cost of consuming the energy of the void more quickly. Issei, I guess with the power level of my versions, it's something I can't afford at the moment. Azazel, but of course this is only assuming that the sacred gear, thing or object does not have consciousness, intelligence, soul, or is some kind of life form. Issei, what? Kaneko, Professor Azazel, what is the difference between having consciousness or not? Azazel, naturally the link can invoke the power or object of said version, but if this object has consciousness, things change completely. Our bodies can be affected. Vala, in what way? Azazel, for example, a demonic sword with consciousness can possess the opponent and make them do many bad things. Kaneko, but that is very situational. Azazel, that's true. Then I will now talk about something non-situational. Did you know that objects generated by linking with consciousness or soul cause a tremendous burden to the user? More than a common link. In the worst case, it can damage the soul of the person who uses the link. At that, all the companions were surprised and shocked. Kaneko, but why? Azazel, unlike the original bearer who was with that object from the beginning, our bodies are not used to hosting other souls or consciousnesses. And that is why we can only get used to it slowly. That is why nowadays the bearers of links that summon sacred gear or other objects of this style have a very short time of use with them in the link. Some even prefer not to use the link again with that version, to avoid getting damaged, since repairing a soul currently is extremely difficult. Sometimes the damage to the soul is irreversible. Valley, now I understand the risk that objects like this entail. The power is worthless if you can never use it again. Azazel, now that is for those who only use the objects. For those who use the power of their version, plus the power provided externally by that object. Azazel looked at Issei directly with a serious face. Issei, yes. Azazel, the answer is that they will never be able to use them. Issei, what? Azazel, that's my answer to your question. If the sacred gear didn't have a soul or consciousness, you could use it along with the power of your version. But if it does have a soul or consciousness, you will never be able to use it. Your body simply wouldn't hold up. You would carry the power of your version, the power that the sacred gear gives you, and the soul of the sacred gear, leaving aside the absurd amount of void energy that you would spend. Vala, so it's impossible? Azazel, I'm afraid so. Only the main power of that version could be used. If any of you tried to use or summon the object with the consciousness of that version, I'm afraid you wouldn't last even 5 seconds without your soul breaking into pieces. By saying that, the class understood well the risks and consequences of their actions. Issei, I see, then it seems that I won't be able to use the power of the sacred gear of my versions. Well, it's not like I'll need it, however, because I'm feeling incomplete. Chapter 10 Nightmares. At Issei's home, his entire family, including him, were sleeping peacefully. However, Issei was agitated. He was having a nightmare. In his dreams, he was in a sandy desert running. Issei, I must escape, they're going to catch me. Why do you run? Don't run away. What is written cannot be avoided. Issei, what do you want? There was nothing around him, however voices were heard. Issei's face showed panic and fear. He didn't even know why he was running, he was just running. It must be done. It is a danger. Issei, shut up, I don't even understand what you're saying. This has already happened. It is history. It always starts like this. Issei, what are you talking about? Woman starts with woman. It's always that woman. You've seen her. It's the same for everyone. Issei, what woman? I haven't seen. At that, Issei's face hardened. Immediately a person came to mind. Issei, is it Rainier? She must die. Kill her. Kill her. Issei, it's ridiculous, I've never seen Rainier, I don't know where she is. Of course you have. You've seen it. Many times. Issei, no, I haven't seen her, I memorized her face when I saw the memories of my other versions, she doesn't look like anyone I've seen. Do you really believe that? You run away from what you don't want to see? Issei, lie with the link, she would have accessed her memories and would have come to kill me, but she didn't, that only means she's dead. Error. What you say is wrong. You are basing yourself on the memory of your other versions. Issei, of course I base it on those memories, it all started there, in the place where he kills most of my versions. Lie. 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 Issei, what? It didn't all start at the source. Issei, what are you saying? You can't see the place where it all began, because you forbid yourself. Issei, what the hell are you talking about? It all started with an Issei date. After the words he heard, the sky above Issei turned purple, his head began to hurt, he grabbed it tightly and shuddered from side to side. Issei, what quote, but how, where, why? It was her. The date. It all started. There it started. Everything was normal. We were happy. But she deceived everyone. Under a false name. Issei, fake name? Yuma Hand. When that name was uttered, Issei's knees trembled, his face showed horror, his head shook. Issei, Yuma, impossible, she's been my friend for a long time, it's a lie. We fell for the idea of love. But it was false. Our first love was nothing more than a lie. The worst betrayal. The betrayal of the heart. Some of us did not fall for that lie. But still we saw the truth, in their eyes there is no love. Issei, wait, we fell, you guys are. At that moment under the sand, figures began to rise. Issei's body trembled when he saw the figures. You must kill her. Kill her. Kill her. That's what must be done. Destroy her. Issei, it's impossible, she's my friend, Yuma is my friend, I'm not going to kill her, I will never kill her. You have to do it. It's meant to be. She deserves it. Issei, I've never killed anyone and the first person I kill won't be my friend. You refuse to do it. You will take his side. Issei, yes, I will, she's not evil. So you leave us no choice. It can't be avoided. Issei, what do you mean? What are you going to do? We are going to you. To give a chance. Further. But that's all. If you don't kill her. Us. We will do it. At that moment Issei would wake up from the dream screaming. By the time he stopped screaming, he realized that it was just a dream. Despite this, he was exhaling heavily, and he immediately saw that his body was shaking and sweaty. Immediately Ika and Isara came through the door in their pajamas. Isara, everything's fine, bro. Ika, are you okay? Issei, yeah, I just had a nightmare. Isara, do you want us to accompany you? Issei, yes, honestly, yes. Ika, okay. Issei's sisters lay down next to him. Issei, I'm sorry to scare you. Isara, don't worry, we understand perfectly. Ika, it's the first time you have a nightmare, it's normal to scream so much. Issei, didn't I wake up our parents? Ika, don't worry, Mom and Dad are sleeping soundly. Isara, a scream is not enough to wake them up. Issei, that's good. Ika, okay, let's go back to sleep. Isara, don't worry, we'll wake you up if you have more nightmares. Isara, thank you, at the end of the day it's just a nightmare, right? The night would pass normally and give way to a new day at the academy. Jack, you say you had a dream and your other versions told you that Rainier is Yuma. Issei, yes, I guess it's a mistake, right? Jack, this is something I need to discuss with Azazel. Issei, what? Jack, Issei, I want you to calm down. Issei, don't give me that you know something. Jack, because when they tell people to calm down, they don't. Issei, Jack? Jack, Sai, listen to me, I'll bring Azazel to talk to him about the subject, do some tests on your body, and I promise to give you the answers you want. Issei, okay. Shortly after, Azazel would arrive with Jack and they would begin to perform examinations on Issei's body. Jack, how are you? Azazel, well, everything seems to be fine. Jack, that's what we assume. Azazel, I'm afraid so. The exams would end and the two would see Issei to give him answers. Issei, then what's wrong with me? Jack, we believe that the link with your versions has caused you to have a negative psychological reaction when making contact with Yuma recently. If this problem did not manifest itself before, it must have been because you did not have the link at that time. Azazel, I guess this psychological reaction is because in other universes they are enemies. Issei, have similar cases been seen? Jack, yes, it usually comes with negative reactions from the body, instinctive hatred and desire to kill that person. Issei, what? Jack, don't worry, it only happens when you use the link. Issei, that's worse, you're practically telling me that I'm going to want to kill Yuma. Jack, well, from what I understand, in other universes she is evil. Issei, it doesn't mean that it is here. Azazel, Jack, I think it would be best if you brought Yuma and ran some tests. Jack, I guess there is no other option. Azazel would leave quietly and Jack would bring Yuma. Issei immediately observed her. Her body was restless. She looked at the watch on her arm and temporarily took it off. The tests with Yuma would begin. Everything was going normally, until he used the link, and when Issei saw that figure, his entire body trembled. Issei, calm down, she's not Rainier. Yuma, what's wrong with Issei? Jack, I'll explain it to you when we finish the tests. At the end of the tests, Jack would tell Yuma about Issei's situation and she would react scared and shocked, but not from Issei but from herself. She was afraid of hurting him. However, Jack calmed her down by telling her not to worry, that when the tests were over he would see them both to give them the results. Issei then? Yuma, is everything okay? Jack, it seems that Yuma has a similar reaction to yours but to a lesser extent, however this does not pose a danger to either of you. Yuma, really? Issei, but you said that I'm going to want to kill Yuma. Jack, you will feel those desires but from that to making them come true is another thing, because you have control, the same goes for Yuma. Yuma, it's a relief to hear that. Jack, it is common for the link to present these cases, but they are overcome over time. Issei, it's a relief to know that Yuma isn't evil. Yuma, hey. Issei, haha, sorry. Jack, don't worry, your reasoning is understandable. It is well known that some people who were bad in other universes could be bad in this one. I mean, there are murderers for that reason. However, some people don't have the same fate and are good. This is the case of Yuma. In fact, I think that Yuma's case is even more special. Issei, what do you mean? Jack, for example, I think that in this universe Rainier as such does not exist, instead Yuma exists. Possibly in this universe what was born was the kind image of Yuma. Issei, then Yuma, it's Yuma. Jack, that's right, Rainier doesn't exist here. Yuma, that's a relief for everyone. Issei, well, knowing this I think I can leave in peace. I mean, all this happened in a dream. Jack, well, your synchronization rate with your versions is high. In fact, I should have foreseen that this could happen, but according to my records, Rainier does not exist in this world, and since your other versions must have interacted with Yuma personally, you could not know or see it because it is a taboo of the link. Issei, true, they said that she committed a betrayal of the heart. Yuma, if your versions interacted with mine in a personal way, it's normal that you couldn't know it. We can never interact with personal memories. To know about the private lives of our versions, we all know what happens if we break that taboo. Issei, yes, Yuma is right, Lavinia is on a tightrope because of that, and if the truth were known she would become a slave. Jack, fortunately, the high synchronization with your versions made them manifest in that dream and warn you about Yuma. Issei, well, at least I'm glad there are no problems between us, Yuma. Yuma, same here, Issei smiles. Jack, well, I'll do some last tests on Issei. As for you, Yuma, you can go home without any problem. Yuma, okay. Yuma would leave the place calmly. On the other hand, Issei still looked worried. Jack saw this and immediately approached. Jack, I told you there's no danger. Why are you still worried? Issei, in the dream my other versions told me that he will kill her, that he will kill Yuma, and if he didn't do it, then they would do it. Jack, don't worry about it. They have no control over you. Issei, what do you say about possession? That way they could take my place. Jack, true, but it can happen to you if you don't want it to happen, because you don't see Yuma as an enemy. Issei, how well, that takes away all my worries. For a moment I thought they would take my place. Jack, even if it did happen, they would be restricted to the link by the laws. Once the void energy was gone, you would return to normal. There wouldn't be enough time for your other versions to kill her. Issei, what if they go against the laws? Jack, impossible. Each universe in the multiverse is governed by its own laws. Although most universes share the same laws such as life or death, I know that your versions do not have the power to go against those laws. Issei, true, they are not almighty. Jack, right, the same is the case with Yuma if Rainier possessed her. From what I've seen, Rainier doesn't have anywhere near the power level of your other versions, so there's no danger of her going against the laws, because she wouldn't even be able to do anything. Issei, true, haha, I guess I can leave in peace. After those words, Issei left the place in peace. Jack, these guys every day is a new problem, but it's interesting to see how they move forward with the link. Look at them making a fuss over nothing. There won't be any problem. I mean, it's not like either of them had something that could go against the laws of the multiverse. Elsewhere. Yuma, Mom, Dad, I'm here. Sarah, how was your day today, daughter? Yuma, okay, Mom, I had problems with a friend, but we already fixed it. And Dad? Sarah, he left. The work is getting harder and harder. I'll leave you a note on the table. Yuma would see the note and saw that it said, to continue trying to improve his link. Yuma, Dad must be desperate. Work is getting harder and harder for him. If I don't get a very strong version of myself, I won't be able to excel and ease Dad's financial burden. Sarah, is something wrong, daughter? Yuma, no, Mom, I'll go up to my room to practice with my link. Sarah, daughter, don't overexert yourself. If you think we're putting too much pressure on you, just tell us. Yuma, no, I really can. Sarah, okay, but aren't you planning on eating something before? Yuma would go up to the room without answering his mother. She looked at him sadly, but there was nothing she could do. When she got to her room, she sat down and used link over and over again, trying to link with a stronger version of herself. Yuma, this is no good. I've tried many times, but nothing works. I won't be able to help my family like this because I can't link up with a stronger version of myself just one more time. You are desperate. Yuma, hey, who said that? Don't worry, I will lighten all your burdens. Yuma, what are you talking about? But before she could finish speaking, her entire body began to tremble, her consciousness was lost, her eyes turned dark. She was not using the link of her own free will, however the link was taking place. By the time she finished she was transformed, but it was not her. Rainier, don't worry little one, I will help you. I will give you a second life like you gave it to me, because in this universe, no, in the whole multiverse, nothing can stop me. He immediately showed some shiny objects stuck to his hand. The sky began to turn dark, lightning was seen, and then the rain fell. Rainier admired this from the window. She immediately saw the shiny objects on her right arm. These objects were nothing more and nothing less than gems. What started it all? The multiverse crisis. The great multiverse war. The gems had manifested the power to go against all laws, to go against the multiverse itself. Chapter 11: External Intervention. In bed, Hyodo Issei was sleeping peacefully. Apparently he didn't have nightmares this time. The time to wake up was approaching. He raised half of his body, raised his arms while yawning, and opened his eyes. But when he did, he was stunned by what he saw. His voice did not come out. What I was seeing was nothing. One way to describe it was that all space was blank, like a sheet of paper. Up, down, right, left, everything was blank, as if reality itself was that. There was nothing there, just him and his bed. In fact, one of the first things he wondered was whether he would fall into the void or not when he hit the ground. But contrary to his thoughts, what he touched was the ground, or at least something solid. In fact, he should have foreseen it, considering that the bed had not fallen. But fallen was the right word. Everything was blank, as if there was no concept at all. Issei, but what the hell is this? It seems it's too late. Issei, who said that? Issei quickly turned around and prepared to use the link, but strangely he couldn't. The link didn't work. It was the first time it happened, and when he turned around he didn't see anyone. Then he thought he was still in a dream, so he pinched his arm, but the expression on his face changed when he realized he was in pain. This is not a dream, Issei, it is reality. Issei, where am I? Who are you? Where are you? Above you. Issei, what? Issei raised his head, and what he saw paralyzed his body. A golden eye was watching him. This eye made his entire being tremble. Excuse me, I'm getting my physical form ready. At that the golden eye disappeared, and instead a subject appeared in front of Issei. Issei, what or who are you? Andres, my name is Andres. Nice to meet you, Hyodo Issei from Universe 1. Issei, Andres, are you responsible for all this? Andrew, no. Issei, so you know where we are? Andres, we are in the multiverse. Issei, what? I don't know what the multiverse is like for you, but it's not a blank space. Andrew, it is, if this one is destroyed. Issei, shocked that. Andres, that's right, more specifically we are in your universe, but the entire multiverse is like that in general. Issei, wait, where are my sisters and my... But his words would be interrupted by Andres. Andrew, they're all dead, there's nothing left. Issei, stop joking. Andres, believe me, I don't make jokes. Issei, then why me? Andres, why are you still alive? Good question, the answer is simple, I saved you from disappearing. Issei, what are you? Andrew, you can think of me as the author of the story or the creator of the multiverse. At his words, Issei couldn't even speak. He didn't believe that this person was lying, because his presence spoke for itself. Issei, I understand. Andres, I'm glad you're quick to grasp the situation. Let's walk. Issei, where to? Andres, well, let's just walk. After all, there is no concept of an established end here. After his words he followed him. In his eyes he seemed like a normal person. Issei, for being the creator of the multiverse you look very human. Andres, did you think that a being like me had to be different? Issei, to tell the truth, yes. Andres, do you know anything about dimensional planes? Issei, no. Andres, well, to give you information, it is established that different beings live in different planes, but the description, concept, form, image, or reality of the beings changes depending on the plane, and only beings from higher planes can see people from lower planes. A clear example is that humans from higher planes can perceive you as a narrated story, in a book, or writing. Issei, I see. Andres, having a higher consciousness or soul, coming from a higher plane, it is normal to exert great power on a lower plane, that is to say, for you I am all-powerful here and that is true, but in my reality I am just a normal human being. In turn you would be all-powerful on a lower plane than yours, you would perceive everything as stories. Books, comics, programs, etc. Issei, but if you are a person of a higher plane, your body shouldn't be different. Andres, this is just a body that creates, to interact or be on the lower plane. With this body on this plane, the multiverse is created. Issei, then you are not a god. Andres, no, I'm just someone who has a higher consciousness and soul, the author of this story. Issei, because the most amazing things are the simplest ones. Andres, I guess that's the grace of life. Issei, and your real body? Andres, in their respective plane, after all, one-dimensional beings cannot interact with two-dimensional beings, just as two-dimensional beings cannot interact with three-dimensional beings, otherwise everything would be destroyed. Issei, how did all this happen, that you are here and everything is destroyed? Andres, through the link you saw the gems and what they caused, right? Issei, yes, wait, don't tell me that. Andres, that's right, Rainier did it, or rather, Yuma did it. When he heard that, Issei's face deformed, he was horrified. Issei, but how? Andres, the link made it so that it would link to one of its versions, there's no need to tell you which one. Issei, but how did you make your bond last so long perhaps? Andres, correct, the gems originally I didn't count on that, but I should have expected it. Taking into account how the link works, the gems are above all the laws established in the multiverse. Being my creations, it wasn't difficult for Rainier to overwrite Yuma, and remain like that with the power of the gems. Issei, so Rainier did this. Andres, no, Yuma did it in an attempt to resist Rainier's control. Their internal struggle ended in this, which was in a way better, since Rainier would have everyone as slaves right now if it weren't for Yuma. Issei, Yuma you. Andres, originally this universe should have been normal without powers or anything, but humanity's desire for knowledge without caution led them to break their dimensions by accident, and created the link. There shouldn't have been any problems either, but I guess I never counted on Yuma linking up with the version of Rainier who almost destroyed the multiverse. Issei, I should have seen it coming when I had that dream. Andres, don't blame yourself, I know that in your dreams your versions were screaming at you to kill her, but she really isn't bad. Issei, if I had killed her I could have avoided this. Andres, but if we kill the good people, what would differentiate us from the bad ones? Issei, what is the right thing to do in these cases? Andres, sometimes morality doesn't apply in these cases. Issei, if you're here, it means you can fix it, right? Andres, I can, but when everything goes back to where it all started, the same thing would happen again and again. I can't interfere, but you can. Issei, I guess I should stop Yuma. Andres, the link brought back that Rainier and the gems. If you stop her in the future she could link again, and the same thing would happen again. Issei, then I have to kill her, but I don't want to. Andres, I didn't say that either. Issei, hey. Andrew, there is another way. You must destroy from within the link with that specific version, so that it can never be linked again. Issei, I guess I don't have to ask about the risks. Andrew, correct. Issei, can I win? Andrew, I don't know, but it will surely be easier than physically fighting her, without her killing you. Issei, true, how will I beat him? The link will not even overshadow Rainier and the gems. Andres, correct, I can't interfere in person, however I can offer you help. At that moment footsteps were heard, someone was approaching. Issei, who are they? Andres, you could call them laws. Issei, laws. Seeing them, Issei couldn't help but think of something omnipresent and omnipotent. His appearance was what described those laws. Life, you are Hyoto. Issei, nice to meet you, I'm Life. Death, Life, leave him, don't you see he's nervous? Life, How cute, my husband is jealous. Death, I'm not jealous. Issei, what is this? Andres, I gave the laws a long time ago a physical body on this plane. Issei, then the laws are living beings. Andres, their essence itself is a concept, but if they are now living beings. Issei, so when she says she is life and death, they actually are. Andres, correct, the law of life and death. For all humans these laws are well known. We are all born and we all die, it is inevitable. Issei, Haya. At that a figure terrified Issei. He was drinking coffee face up in the air. Andres, chaos as always, you are annoying. Chaos, thanks. Issei, who is this? Andres, law of chaos represents unpredictable and confusing things, madness personified. He only looks out for his personal enjoyment. He would destroy planets just to laugh. Chaos, you honor me with your words. Andres, I don't like him. In that more people, or in this case laws, were approaching. Order, I am perfectly ready and prepared. On the other hand, Issei, your hair is loose, let me tidy it up a bit. Andres, he is order, the law that represents functioning, normality and symmetry. Space, I'll trim the boy's hair if you like. Andres, this woman is the law of space. Reality, leave the boy alone, he's fine the way he is. Andres, he is the law of reality, and as you can see, he is upset by the current situation. Issei, I see. Balance, as always you try to keep things in balance, Andres, I like that about you. Andres, she is the law of balance, as her name suggests she keeps the scales aligned so that everything is not destroyed. Destruction, they said destroy. Creation, hey destruction, don't be disrespectful. Destruction, I'm sorry honey. Andres, I don't have to say much about these two, creation and destruction, everyone knows their meanings. Nothing, when are we going to start? At that moment, a girl appeared out of nowhere next to Issei, and when he saw her, he felt uneasy. Issei, who is this girl? Andres, the law of nothingness, what is not and will never be a total emptiness, basically what you are seeing in front of you. Issei, I see. Nothing, I'm upset with this situation. Issei, I thought that being the law of nothingness I would be happy. Andres, don't get me wrong, in her personal dimension she spends all her time alone, playing video games. Now that the entire multiverse is destroyed, she has nothing to do but float eternally in nothingness. Issei, so. Andres, if she's bored. Good luck, then it's time to get started. Andres, the law of luck, there is no need to explain, it comes and goes. I will only say that it does not last long, and never get your hopes up with a lottery ticket. In the end, the last number gives you a reality check. Life, are we going to start? Reality, there is not enough time. Andrew, he was in Universe 2 when all this happened, so he probably won't come and let us figure it out. Issei, that's not very irresponsible of you. Andres, he will surely support you from afar. Reality, with us it will be enough. Andres, yes, I would have preferred to have brought the other laws, but equilibrium told me that this is the allowed limit. Balance, that's right. Issei, wait, explain to me what you're going to do? Andres, I can't interfere in the multiverse, but you can. However, your power is not enough to face this Rainier, so temporarily the laws will give you all their power, to put you as their equal. Issei, is that possible? Andres, consider this as a consensus among everyone, to avoid the destruction of the multiverse. Are you ready? Issei, if I don't do it my family and friends will be dead. I have no choice anyway, what do I have to think about? Andres, okay, by the way, it will hurt you a lot. Issei, because it doesn't surprise me. After his words, the laws got into position, extended their hands and began to introduce their power into Issei. Issei screamed like crazy, while writhing on the ground. At that, a ray of light that came from above joined Issei. Andres, sigh, so you will support us from afar, well that's you. Issei's scream continued, then when everything was about to end, Andres raised his fingers and snapped them. 10 hours before. Rainier was floating, while looking at the night sky. Rainier, who would say that I would be given another chance? Luck is on my side, and this time no Hyodo Issei is here to stop me. Well, it's time to use them. Let's not waste any more time. Yuma, give me back my body. Rainier, wow, so you're still conscious. Yuma, give me my body. Rainier, don't worry, it'll be over in a second. Yuma, stop. She was ready to use the gems, but Yuma wouldn't let her. Then a hand grabbed Rainier's arm. She opened her eyes wide when she saw who it was. Rainier, how is it possible that you are here? Bang. A blow would be dealt to Rainier, sending her towards the moon and destroying it in the process. Issei, it doesn't matter what I'm doing here, because today will be the day you finally disappear, Rainier. Chapter 12, You Are Yourself. In space, Rainier's body floated. She was shocked by what happened. Rainier, but what just happened? I faced many Hyodo Issei, but none of them showed that they had this kind of power, and in the memories of this girl, this Issei should not have a power like this. In front of her, Issei instantly appeared. Issei, are you ready? Rainier, how is it possible that he appeared out of nowhere? No, he didn't appear out of nowhere. It was as if space had opened up quickly. Is there some external factor involved? At that moment, Issei approached, until he was face to face and threw a punch towards his face. Shock. The blow was so strong that it destroyed hundreds of stars. However, that blow was stopped by Rainier's hand, implying that only the impact between Issei's fist and Rainier's hand was enough for that action. Issei, even with all this power, she is still stronger. Certainly, with the power of the gems in her hands, there is no possibility of beating her physically. Rainier, let me ask you something. Hyodo Issei, that power doesn't belong to you, right? Issei, he realized faster than expected, and what if it is like that? Rainier, nothing in particular. Anyway, any help is useless against me. At that moment, Rainier's fist went straight to Issei's face, but instead of breaking his face, the attack failed. Issei smiles. Maybe it's not so useless. Rainier, how did you do it? Issei, I don't think you should know that. Their fight would continue, destroying planets in the process. It was a battle like never before seen. Shock. 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 While they were fighting, their fight was being watched by the Laws and Andres. Life. How did Rainier's attack fail? They were too close to be dodged. Luck. It's because of my power, probability control. Issei used it quickly so that the success rate of Rainier's blow is 0. Death. Does this mean that no matter what she does, she will never be able to land a hit? Luck, that's right. That girl won't be able to hit Issei as long as she has that power. Life, that's great. Andres, sure, it would be like that if she didn't have the gems, but since she does, she can cancel that power at any time. Death, I think he already did it. Shock. Shock. Bang. A blow was dealt to Issei's stomach, with such power that it pierced his stomach, leaving a hole. Issei spits blood. Shit. Rainier, it's over. Issei, no, not yet. At that moment, the hole in Issei's stomach healed instantly. Life, as long as I have my power, no wound will be fatal. Death, and as long as I have mine, only he will decide when to step into the land of death. Luck, but just like with my power, it's only a matter of time before Rainier finds a way to remove it. The battle between the two continued. Issei hit Rainier with such force that he sent her from space to the ground of a planet. She fell to the ground with the power of thousands of nuclear warheads, thus creating a huge explosion. After the explosion ended, Issei went down to the ground and saw Rainier standing waiting for him. Rainier, the next hit will kill you. Issei, I don't think so. Balance. Immediately when he said those words, the energies of both became equal and they began to attack each other with their fists. Shock. Bang. Shock. Bang. Balance. My power has balanced the fight. Creation. Certainly the energy of both is equal, but how long will it last? Andrew, not much. In the fight, Rainier's power increased again. She concentrated much of her strength into a beam of energy, which she fired. Rainier, You won't be able to dodge it at this distance. Issei, I don't have to destruction. Immediately upon saying that, the energy beam disappeared. Rainier, what? Issei, creation. At that moment Issei extended his hand and a beam of energy collided with Rainier, destroying everything around him. Destruction. With my power there is nothing that cannot be destroyed or faded away. Life. It is certainly an infallible defense. Creation. With my power there is nothing that Issei cannot create, as long as it does not exceed the power of the law of creation, of course. Death. Rainier was apparently seriously injured by that attack. Andres. But she can also regenerate. While Rainier's body was regenerating, Issei took the opportunity to continue attacking. Issei chaos. Immediately things started to change. The floor was made of rubber. Lightning was literally raining down. It was crazy. Chaos. Haha, how funny. It's clever, very clever, to create an area where your enemy has the disadvantage. Andres, honestly, only your power could upset reality in such a way. Shock. Bang. Burst. Rainier was suffering from several attacks, which made her regeneration difficult, and now that the area was disadvantageous, it was not good for her at all. However, the power of the gems was released. Large rays of energy appeared, destroying the planet, and remained active, while his body completely regenerated. Rainier turned to ashes. Issei, time to put things in order here. Using the powers of the law of order, the energy rays coming out of her joined into one, which was easier to dodge. Order, don't try to launch attacks that aren't symmetrical, they might not work. Andres, only you would have an ability like that. Wouldn't it be better if the rays disappeared? Order, disappearing everything does not mean order. Andrew sighs. The fight continued. This time Rainier chose to approach first, starting a fist fight. As her strength was superior, Issei tried to get away. Issei space. Rainier, I don't think so. At that moment Rainier appeared behind him, giving him a blow. Issei spits blood like. Rainier, you open a slot in space to move. I just did the same thing as you. Issei, let's see how you deal with this reality. As he spoke those words, reality began to shift, the entire outer space changed, and thousands of monsters began to appear. Space. My power is no longer of help to Issei. This is problematic. Reality. Don't worry, my power will keep her busy, but it won't last long. Andres, currently, all he has left to use is the power of nothing and the power of time. Nothing. I think he wants to use my power to destroy the link from within. Andrew, with your power it is possible, let alone destroy, that link would be erased from existence forever. Nothing, however, it must first enter your head. Rainier was quickly finishing off the monsters created by Issei. Their corpses began to float in space. The fight continued like this for a few minutes, until there was no one left. Rainier, the games are over. Hyodo Issei. She was angry and tired of this fight. For her Issei was only delaying the inevitable, and she was willing to end it all, once and for all. It was then that he prepared to use the gems and end all this. But then he realized that Hyodo Issei was nowhere to be found. Rainier, what does this mean? Where are you? Issei, behind you. At that moment she turned around quickly, but it was too late. Hyodo Issei, in a quick movement, put his finger on Rainier's head. Rainier, but what? Issei, your time is up. After saying that, both Rainier's and Issei's bodies were paralyzed. Death, what did he do? Andres, he used the law of time and paralyzed himself in time with Rainier. That way, while he is inside Yuma's mind, Rainier will not be able to move outside. Life, but he can't use the gems to remove that state. Andres, fortunately Issei adjusted time, so that it will pass faster inside Yuma's mind. Now he has the advantage. Nothing, but first you will need to find Yuma's consciousness before eliminating Rainier. Andrew, that's right. Pictures of memories and a blank space was all that was in Yuma's mind. When walking, a picture appeared and with it a memory of the past. At that moment Issei was seeing the difficult life that Yuma was leading. His father was not doing well financially. On the other hand, his mother was under a lot of mental stress, and she worked hard every day without stopping, to show results. She was desperate to get a powerful version, and with it help her family. She had a great weight on her shoulders. Issei, Yuma, why did you never say anything? I'm your friend, I would help you. Yuma, I know, but that's why I didn't say anything. I didn't want to be a nuisance, especially since Issei showed that he had enough power to shut the mouths of the students who bothered him at the academy. I wanted to solve my problems on my own. I wanted to be strong like Issei. Yuma's voice was heard around the place, but Issei still didn't see her. Issei, you are not a hindrance. We all always need help. No one can solve all their problems alone. There comes a time when we must ask for help, and that is not degrading. It is the right thing to do. Yuma, sometimes it's too late to realize things. I guess I always make bad choices just like her. I saw everything she did. What I did to you, I deserve to die. Issei, no, you're not her. Yuma, how do you know? Because of my obsession with being strong, I almost destroyed everything. Your family, my family, your friends, my friends. I deserve to die. Issei, no, you don't deserve it. Maybe Rainer does, but Yuma Amano, no. Yuma, how can you say that? Issei, because I've known you for a long time, and for me you are an irreplaceable friend. At that moment the crying of a girl was heard clearly. Issei raised his hand to caress her cheek. Yuma Amano appeared in front of Issei. Yuma, I'm sorry, forgive me. Issei, there's nothing to forgive. Yuma, but how to stop Rainer? Issei, don't worry, the moment I came in here she lost. Yuma, do you trust me? Yuma, yes, I trust you more than anyone in the world. Issei, thank you. Well, it's time for you to leave my friend Yuma alone. Rainer, law of nothing. Click. As he snapped his fingers, everything around Issei turned white. Outside of his mind, Rainer's body was freed from temporary paralysis. However, she screamed in pain. Rainer, but what have you done? Issei, see you never, Rainer. Rainer, ahhhhhhhh. With those words spoken, everything went blank. Space, the planets, the stars, the entire universe. 2 days later. All of Issei's friends were celebrating at Yuma's house. It seemed things were going well for his family. Rias, I'm glad your father signed a big contract and got promoted. Yuma, yes, it was a big surprise for my family. The truth is that I haven't felt so calm for a long time. Issei, certainly it's a break from economic problems. Rias, certainly. But at that moment, everyone present except Yuma and Issei would be paralyzed. Time had stopped. Issei, this is... Yuma, what's wrong? Andres, sorry to interrupt. Yuma, who are you? Issei, oh, it's you, Andres. Don't tell me something happened again. Yuma, do you know him? Issei, yeah, something like that. Andres, calm down. Nothing bad is happening. I came to thank you, Hyodo Issei. Issei, then it's a relief. But you don't need to thank me. It was enough that you returned everything to normal again, after the great fight I had with Rainer. Andres, honestly I had to do it, but apart from thanking you I also came to talk to Yuma. Yuma with me? Andrew, I guess you've realized that you can no longer use the link. Yuma, yes. Issei, by the way, what's the reason for that? Andres, when you used the law of nothingness inside her, you forever cut the connection with Rainer, but it was so powerful that it wasn't just with her. Issei, with how many? Andrew, all of them. Issei, does that mean Yuma will never be able to use the link? Yuma, calm down, Issei. Issei, but... Yuma, after everything that happened, we should be glad that he didn't destroy the entire universe, and I don't want to continue linking with Rainer. Issei, but without the link you... Andres, don't be so dramatic, I'm not done talking yet. Who said you won't be able to use the link again? Issei, what? Yuma, hey. Andres, Yuma is Yuma and Rainer is Rainer. Taking that into account, Yuma should not link up with other versions of herself. Issei, but in all the universes, Yuma is just an act that Rainer uses to kill me. This is the only universe where Yuma is not an act. Andres, that's correct, but what if in the other universes, More specifically in the dimensions of these, Yuma exists. Issei, shocked that. Yuma, shocked like. Andres. Because in this universe Yuma is good because your name is not Rainier. The answer took me a while to find. I did my research and noticed that there are other versions of Yuma, in the dimensions of the many universes of the multiverse. Issei, how is it possible? Andres, do you remember that one of your versions traveled in time and that's why it caused changes in the multiverse? Issei, yes. Andres, I think the change for this universe was to eliminate Rainier's presence and leave Yuma as a substitute. Issei, but she has always been linked with Rainier. Andres, yes, it is probably because by eliminating Rainier's presence from this universe, she had to occupy both places when making the link, but since Rainier's presence is in the main dimension, therefore closer and Yuma's is not, he has only been able to link with the versions of Rainier, but not with the versions of Yuma. Yuma, that's what it means. Andrew, that's right. At that moment Andres raised his finger in front of Yuma and his body shone. Yuma, this is it. Andres, now you can connect with your versions, your real versions. Issei, thanks. Andres, there is nothing to thank, now I can only say goodbye, Hyodo, Issei and Yuma. Issei, will I see you again? Andres, who knows, if fate wants it that way, then it will be. Anyway, I have work to do. See you later. Click. By snapping his fingers, everything would return to normal and disappear. Yuma, by the way, would you tell me who that was? Rias, who was who? Issei, nobody. Rias, but I clearly heard them talking about someone. Vala, hey, what are you guys talking about? Xiao, what's up guys? Hu Tao, don't leave us out. Lavinia, do you need help with something? Issei, heavens, something tells me that this is just the beginning. My name is Hyodo Issei. I don't know what the future holds for me while I'm at the academy, with my friends. But if I know one thing, it's that we will know how to face difficulties together. Arc 1, Link. Finished.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.